Who did he win?
Yeah.
What was he playing? Smash?
Ivory. He plays on Ivory.
Alrighty.
I don't think it was Smash though. I think it was like.
Shut up! Did you hear me? No. It's blinking. It's muted, right, Jim?
Yeah, fucking bold.
Alright. Welcome to Zaxria. Alrighty. So, last we had left off, you made your way back to the keep in order to, revisit, see if you could do some things for Shadow, maybe get him enlisted as an honorary member of the keep. Shadow made his way west, back towards Brunswick, where he happened across a traveling merchant who was a merchant to Edward Duval, right? Yes. Edward Duval, of whom you saved his daughter, Rosaline. Traveling over there, you were rewarded quite generously, given some sort of passage back to where the keep is. You guys sitting around within the keep had discovered that there was some sort of turmoil or conflict going on overseas in Azash. King Zankala had reached out to the keep. Very vague. There was not a lot of description as to what was going on. Just that his people, feared for their lives, and that the kingdom of Azash was in need within the capital city of Akest. Upon doing that, you tried to find a way to get passage across the sea. Connor, reaching out to Professor Fletcher, were able to find the name of an individual by the name of Captain Hawthorne, who you met in Fort Creed. Very, very together captain. Didn't really seem, as Andrew would remember, much captains, heavily intoxicated at all times. Definitely enjoyed his alcohol, but not too much. More of like a leisure type thing. You also met an individual by the name of Jameson. It didn't say anything to you. You haven't heard him really speak any words. Very, very tall, large-built individual. Made your way outside to what is now your home for the next couple of months as you travel across the sea. The Gilded Gust. Making your way onto the ship. Not a lot of words are said with the crew. And you set out towards sea at this point, surrounded by nothing but the ocean. As you sail on the sea, you can hear the splashing of waves against the hull of the ship. For hours now, all you have seen is the ocean. And the only thing guiding you is the sun at this point. Probably about midday. And then the first day of sailing, Captain Hawthorne doesn't really take much command at all. The crew seems mindful and able to do whatever it is they must and whatever work is needed in order to keep the ship on course. As night begins to fall, on the very first night, you can see the crew gets less independent, and Hawthorne stares at the sky intently guiding the crew. He gets over toward the bow of the ship near Jameson, kind of sits there gazing out. You can see him kind of fiddling with the rings on his finger as he stares up. And you can see he's not looking at the water, he's looking up towards the sky. During the day, we chase the sun. Many men can do this. Jameson kind of looking at him and you guys up towards the bow as well. But when the sun fades, as long as we have clear skies at night, we will know what to do. The stars will guide us and we will make it to Azash with ease and without delay. Our heading will remain to the southeast, towards the claw of Malar. He kind of points up. And when he points up, you watch him point up toward the sky at this kind of specific constellation. One of which, Connor, you immediately recognize. This constellation is 3 stars that you can see that are sitting above 2 stars evenly beneath. They kind of form somewhat of a claw if you would look at it in that way. They're pretty evenly spaced, and for the most part, you guys looking up at it can't really see much of it. Just kind of looking and like, oh yeah, I kind of can recognize it. But for you, kind of, when you stare at it, it's almost like these lines start to slowly form. You can actually see the shape of a claw that's kind of coming over the sky and almost looks like it's tearing into the actual darkness of it. It's very strange because for you that seems normal. Like that's not anything different. Like looking up, yeah, that's a constellation. You can see
so it's like when you go to astronomy or something like that, and they have it drawn out.
Exactly.
That's what it looks like to monitor.
Exactly. Yeah. All these lines are connecting everything, and there's even like a faint image behind it of the actual claw itself that kind of like fades every now and then. As you begin to sail more and more throughout the night, you can see probably about 3 or so days pass at this point. After you sail through the night, following the sun in the morning, and then the Claw of Malar at night, your heading seems pretty dead on and pretty set. The sun is kind of more to the left of you at this point, as you're heading more southeast than you are just directly east. Once you get onto that third day and at night, the crew gets a little more anxious. You can feel that you're almost floating out in nothing right now. You feel this very, very solemn emptiness, even though you're surrounded by all these people and there's all of this noise going around you. There's still this very, very hidden isolation in everything that's going on because you don't see anything but water. There's not even birds. There's no other ships that pass by. There's no creatures that you see in the water itself. The water itself is this deep, deep blue color with like every now and then there's like a little bit of a shimmer of light blue, but the water that you can tell at this point is deep. There is some depth to it, and the crew gets a little on edge. Throughout the day, you can see them kind of, tying down sails and raising and lowering them per Hawthorne's command. It gets a little more into the night, and at this point, the ship is not being manned as heavily. There's probably only about 4 or 5 crew members that are above deck, making sure it stays on course. There's a barrel kind of set up over towards the helm of the ship that you can see Jameson is actually sitting on, and he has like a small piece of wood in his hand and is like sitting there carving at it with a knife. There's a table that's set up right below where the helm is, and you can see that Hawthorne's sitting at it. There's a bottle of wine on it that kind of sits and rocks and moves with the ship and kind of like grabs and sets it back over there every time it gets closer to the edge. He has a glass of wine actually in his hand. You guys are also kind of gathered around with him over near this point, probably grabbing some food or eating and drinking. Kind of looking out towards all of you guys, takes another sip. Many captains of these seas are fearful at night for the stories that float around the waves, words exchanged in taverns that events bounce from tongue to tongue, losing their reality. Kind of takes a sip and you're like, takes a sip and looks over at you.
I'm convinced this guy's actually.
I literally can't do anything without fucking it up.
Takes another sip. Takes another sip.
What stories do they tell?
He kind of leans back again.
I'm not one for the seas.
The wine bottle starts to slowly shift over. He grabs it and kind of just sets it in his lap. Goes to pour the drink. Stories of terrible curses on the seas that lead ships astray to be lost to the deep blue with no hope of return. Fables of ghostly ships that sail at night with a bloodlust and no sensation for greed, but only the desire to kill, and pillage. He kind of leans forward a little bit.
Do you believe in such things?
Then there are tales of horrendous creatures that float around these seas. Creatures of enormous size and even larger ferocity. Creatures that decimate entire fleets because of their instinct as an apex predator of the sea. They hunt with passion. They kill with the blink of an eye. Eyes as big as you and me. He kind of leans forward a little more. I believe that.
Finn with a lump in his throat walks away. Like walks.
Sets it down. These stories I believe.
At this point, Skip's sitting like a little kid like this.
Now,
Leaning over the head.
let us hope we do not come across these beasts. For if we do, Thassa help us and put the strongest gust of wind the seas have ever seen in our sails so we may run. That will be our only hope. And it leans back. Enjoy your food. Takes a sip. Sets it down. You guys find rest throughout the night?
Eating some lemons.
I don't think Finn sleeps.
Yeah, it's definitely restless.
Sitting on a bed
I don't-
under the mast, one on a bag or something.
I don't think Finn has really thought about the creature he faced until he mentioned it. You know, it's been kind of so long ago, and there's, so many things have happened, and with the training at the Order, he's learned to like put those memories, or that part of his life at rest
Yeah.
and, you know, come to peace with it, but now that he's mentioned it again and we're out on the sea, he's really being haunted by it again, so he just doesn't really say much and goes to bed. He's out of character.
How fast is the ship moving?
It's going at a pretty good pace. There are 3 kind of like main sails that you can see. There's the kind of the center one, and you've heard like commands being shouted out. You know, like main sail, front sail, back sail, or you know, like stern sail, bow sail. But for the most part, it's moving at a good pace. There hasn't really been any hiccups or anything like that. You guys do continue your journey for about a week now. Probably even a little more than that. Probably closer to 2.5 weeks. So you're getting a little more into the month. The month of Zoneth is open at this point. You are now into... actually, no, Zoneth is not open. 27th of Zoneth.
It's about 2 months travel one way to...
2 months just to get there. That's estimated.
And it's nighttime, or is that when we wake up?
When you wake up, it's the 27th.
Okay, so our first day at sea is first full day.
Alright.
Is it, at night, was there like a change in speed at all, or was it the same?
It's pretty moderate. It isn't really, there are changes at times, but you can see that the crew adjusts pretty well to keep the speed at the same pace.
Okay.
At some point during the trip, I'd go, pretty nice day right now.
Kind of good to know. Yes, hopefully the wind stays in the direction it is.
Don't want to say too. You ever run into like pirates or anything like that?
Gives a little bit of a smile. You know what pirates.
Not too much. I'm wondering if you came across any, you know?
Before, yes. There are certain crews that wander these seas.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I start going in my bag. Here's Annie with like one of these.
His eyes widen. I have indeed, yes. He kind of takes it forward and
Really?
holds it for a second. And you can see he's actually holding it like he may have actually seen it before.
Mine now.
I came across the crew one time before, yes. When I was in the side, there was several people belonging to a certain crew. They were trying to sell their wares and some gold that they had pillaged. A lot of the gold that they take is not particularly used in other parts. The Sea is generally a good place where gold is good no matter where it comes from. He kind of takes forward and hands the gun around, like handle first. I have seen a crew in particular, one yes, that carries something as such.
When was that? When was that around?
Half a year maybe. They could be anywhere across the seas at this point. Half a year's time, they could have made it as far west as Southbrook. I'd be asked these questions.
Just wondering. Just thinking about things. Don't want to run into pirates. Bad.
That crew in particular, they have weaponry and armaments that go into that ship that are not very, handleable? We cannot handle them very well. They are,
Yeah, whoever made those are really smart. Must be.
I do not know how to explain them, but it is hard to deal with crews of that nature. Most of the time, crews will just surrender whatever they have to them in order to salvage their ship.
It's very hard not to just It was probably. Don't tell anybody this, but at one point I may have been on a ship like that.
I could tell the way that you stand on the ship, and you have your sea legs to you, that's correct. Speaking of which, I would like you to help around the ship when possible.
I haven't every once in a while.
I see.
Well, okay, I was the one who made those guns. Those, or the things, I made those. That was me. I had to take the credit. I had to tell somebody. I heard.
I figured as such, seeing as how you had them, but
I may be the reason that they have them. All like,
to kind of lean forward a little bit. You sailed the taken section.
I was more of like a prisoner. Kind of only had me on the ship to make the guns for them.
A little bit. So what did they do now? What's your look? Taking these things.
I haven't seen that ship since.
Where are you from?
Southbrook.
The capital?
No, just a little island off the capital. Probably haven't heard of it. Really small.
That's a good
It doesn't work like that.
Is it daytime?
At this point, it's like midday.
I'm gonna climb up to the lookout.
Me too.
It's a pretty good size. You guys can fit up there.
There already someone up there?
No.
Alright. I'm just gonna climb up there and see if I can see anything. Probably not though, since we're in the middle, but...
Yeah, make a perception.
You see a lot of water, weirdly enough. So I said, you guys have been running up there? Trying to awesome my telescope?
Before I walk up, I rolled a 17.
So just go ahead and make another roll it with advantage. You'll know that.
Alright, that's a little better, so it's like a 20 now.
As you get up there, the skies are pretty clear, and it kind of puts you more at ease once you go up there and look around, because you can actually see quite a bit and quite a distance, you know, looking to the telescope. There's not like any heavy waves that you can see. The water seems pretty calm. I mean, there's still about 3-4 foot swells on the ocean, but there's nothing of just like enormous size that are going to just completely capsize a ship. So you're kind of put at ease just looking around at the weather and being on sea before and being able to kind of see, like, you know, the way that weather could change and maybe put you in a bad predicament. It doesn't seem like that.
Yeah, so I'll take that, and since Muldrax's up there with him, like, look, it's clear. And then I like kind of point, like gesture him to look in the telescope.
I'm actually not like looking like out as far as possible. I just wanted this high view to like look down in the water and see what I could see like nearby in the water. And
Boy, about to dive.
25.
25? Okay. Once you get up there and you kind of look and you look down over the sides of the boat, and there's a lot of splash and, you know, the waves picking up and hitting up the hull, and you're kind of looking further out past all of that, you know, like the wake from the boat. You can see, like, once you're looking at the water, it actually gives you a little bit of a perspective as to what's going to go. It's moving pretty quick. The way that it's, like, you know, gaining speed and picking up. Every now and then a wind hits and you can see it almost, like, kind of pick up and splash a little harder on the water. Looking into the water, though, trying to see if you can see anything within it. Doesn't seem like there is really anything. It's like this very deep blue kind of water.
That's fine. I just wanted to take a look. Moldrak was particularly interested in the story, so he's just kind of like, is there something on there?
Yeah, so Finn's just gonna stay up there for a little bit, just enjoy the breeze and just hang out up there.
And for a good amount of you, this is pretty relaxing. Once you get your your bearings to you, and it's not as nauseating. It doesn't bother you skip much. It's just kind of hard for you to walk around at times just because it's weird. There's the footing and
Skip's
everything. Yeah, it's not that
Getting
good.
used to it's like 3-point stance walking across the deck.
You're grabbing onto the rails on the side and like posts and everything every now and then. Yeah.
I was gonna move. Skip's gonna move to the bow of the boat, to a safe spot on the bow of the boat, and just kind of sit down, like crisscross, enjoy it, pray, and examine that new thing that he got in necklace.
The holy symbol.
Just look at it.
Alrighty. Now at this point, you've made your way into the back end of Zanath. It is the 33rd at this point.
Spend a lot of night. Spend a lot of night reading prayer with him.
Okay. Alright. As the time goes on for that additional week or so, Skip finds himself relaxing in prayer, shadow practicing with the shadows, trying to manipulate them more and more. Moldrek, always on edge at some point, being perceptive and knowing your surroundings, looking over the side of the boat, looking out towards the ocean. Orm to himself in prayer, Finn and Ander helping her on the boat, Connor always to the skies at night. Within that time frame, that
Hit a milestone.
all of that time, that kind of elapsed. The only thing of note, the day before now, at night, there were probably about 8 or so shooting stars that kind of like went past the sky, but to like the north, so it was behind you, and only if somebody was by you they would have noticed it, just because like you kind of feel these things and they're innate, and it's almost like this sixth sense where before they happen you kind of like turn around and look up at it, and it's not like this like looking up and like wow, it's like this look, and you almost feel this kind of connection to it. All the shooting stars kind of fly and whiz by, and then there's just like that recognition, and then you kind of like calm down and come back to, and they're just kind of sitting there. All right. The time at this point has gone without incident, and you can kind of feel a bit of wind picking up from the south and blowing across the sails at this point. Your heading is directly onto these sails, or onto the wind, and it's making the ship kind of slow down, and the waves are getting a little harder as you kind of go further and further. It's giving you a slight chill, and you can feel the ship rock as the waves and sway, and everything is getting a lot larger. The swells go from about 3 feet to probably 5.5, and they're actually splashing. A little bit of water is getting up onto the side of the boat. You can feel yourself swaying a lot more. And over the time that you've been on the ship, you pretty much familiarized yourself with it at this point. It's a pretty large ship. It's not outfitted with like cannons or anything. That technology just doesn't exist. Underneath, you're unsure of what the cargo is, but it's being stowed below deck. Just from your natural like insight into things, it doesn't seem like anything illegal for the most part, from what you would imagine. The crew, they're neither friendly nor rude. They just seem busy and they're doing their job, and from time to time will give you waves or as you pass them by or give a nod, but for the most part they seem busy. In their downtime, you share in drinks with them, and are able to make small talk every now and then. They do share stories from time to time of their travels on the sea. Nothing too interesting, but still good conversation to pass the time. You can see that Captain Hawthorne is extremely relaxed. Finn and Andrew, you guys can definitely tell the way that the wind is shifting up, that you may be heading towards something. Nothing probably too crazy, but just something where you may have to adjust a little bit. And you can see he's relaxed, and it almost looks like he's thinking and kind of looking at the wind, the water itself, the sky, just kind of taking everything in. And it's not like this moving his head around really fast. He's just very, very calm and collected, looking at everything around. Anytime a rough wind kind of takes form, he tackles it head on and maneuvers the ship in a way that kind of takes on the wind, and it's this very strange style of sailing that nor Ander or Finn has seen before. Now Finn, you have sailed before, for sure, but nothing of this size. You're able to make yourself useful, and along the journey, tie down knots, lower and raise sails. You understand most of the commands being given to you. but at times kind of find yourself trying to remember before, that time that you probably have repressed a little bit of the memory that's there and haven't remembered much of it, but it's almost like a muscle memory thing where it just kind of comes to you and you're able to do it.
Is this boat bigger than the one I was on originally?
Oh, 100%, yeah. What you were on would probably been like a small, I think it's like a schooner or something. Just like a little fishing boat, probably one sail. This one has 3 on it, probably a good, close to 90 feet in length. It's a pretty good size ship. Definitely a lot larger than the other one. But you are able to kind of piece the memories back together every now and then, and it's all just kind of second nature coming back at some points. Ender, as for you, you have been in your element for some time, and the crew definitely has come to respect you, just the work that you're putting in over the time. Hawthorne acknowledges that you know your way around a ship, and he has no problem exploiting that and putting you to work. Jameson, Hawthorne's first mate, gives most of the orders while Hawthorne himself helms the ship. Your travel continues into the day, and the wind begins to die down just a little bit and change direction. Jameson, at this point, steps forward and shouts out to the crew.
Raise the stern sails! Other sails set to port!
After that command is yelled out, Hawthorne speaks up. Thassa has blessed our travels thus far and grants us an opportunity to speed. We shall not disrespect her and miss it. Then you can see him kind of grab the helm and look forward. You watch the waves kind of slosh around a little bit, and the wind's kind of, at this point, at your back, heading south. Instead of this wind coming from the southeast, it's more like a northwest-bound wind that is pushing through. For everyone but Finn and Ander, Hawthorne sounds like a madman, and the crew is speaking in tongues. But for you, Ander and Finn, you know exactly what's happening. The wind is shifting from out of the southeast, which is you're heading to more of a northwestern wind, in a way. Actually more of a northeast. They wouldn't have shifted that hard. Hawthorne has raised the back sails in order for the ship not to completely toss over and fall over in some sort of a hard gust, and the other sails to catch the wind. With a grin on his face and this kind of energy in the air, you both kind of begin to feel it as you help start to configure the ship. I need both of you to roll a d20 and add your proficiency.
There's an 11.
11?
I'm not probably on this one probably else.
13.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I'm not even trying to get
What, you got 11?
14.
14? Andrew?
17.
17? Okay. Grab all this beforehand.
If it's only a ship you
Get a
sail.
ship.
Yeah, Evil Nation.
But that doesn't really work
And the stream gets shut down.
Yeah, copyright.
You're right.
AWOL Nation is watching.
Not again.
AWOL Nation has left the chat.
Alright.
He's like, you guys don't know how to watch this. Get out of here.
Alright. With that, the waves kind of splash against the back end of the ship, and you feel this kind of push. Everybody kind of grabs onto the rail, or like a siding or something, or sits down, and it's just kind of relaxed. Once all of these sails get shifted to the port side, and they're ready to take this wind, it picks it up, and you actually feel the actual boat kind of move forward a little bit, almost like a car accelerating quickly. It picks up, and the front end of the ship kind of lifts, and then splashes down in this water, picks up and splashes on and covers the whole top of the boat. You guys kind of go down a little bit and then start, once you get balanced and set on this path where the sails are taking the wind nicely and the helm and the whole boat has a heading that's solid, You can feel the actual boat is picking up and gaining a good amount of speed, and Hawthorne just kind of up at the front, like grinning and chuckling and like holding the helm, going back and forth, like spinning it really hard, and then gets it balanced in one spot and holds it in position. This speed takes for probably a good couple of hours where you're just, bouncing over waves and kind of splashing down. The wind's heavy. You can feel when the water hits you, it's cold, even though the weather's kind of warm. Out at sea, it just feels so much colder out here. The wind pushing against the side of you. You get to a point where the wind dies down. You start to relax, and you can feel the ship starting to slowly slow down. It gets to a point where Hawthorne kind of releases the helm. Jameson steps over and grabs onto it, is holding it, sitting there. You guys kind of all look at each other like, relax and just kind of calm down. The wind's still coming from that northwest direction, so it's able to push the sails well. They adjust the sails. Jameson kind of steps forward.
All right, lower all the sails.
Spins the helm around. Andrew and Finn, you guys go up towards the stern of the boat and go over towards the rope that's there. Get over to the knot, untie it, and then you guys look at each other, and there's like probably another crew member with each of you that's there kind of helping put the sail down. Once it's down, you both go over and tie off the sail. I need both of you to make one more check.
Nice.
19.
19?
Ten.
Okay. Finn, you take the rope, and it's this pretty heavy duty rope. Kind of wrap it around, throw a quick hitch and a knot in it, and then slide it and tie it up. And you do it like in a split second, and the crew member doesn't really acknowledge it, just kind of like, yes, you should know how to do that. That's what we're here for. Goes, ties it off. Andrew, you start tying off the knot, and you're having to reach up a little bit and like tie, and you're not able to see it very well. You watch Hawthorne kind of walk over, goes over to the side, and is like watching you tie the knot. And then when he gets there, you kind of start, I gotta tie this. Maybe it does not. You keep watching, and then eventually you get it back down, and then kind of tighten it to where it's very taut towards the sail. And then get it back up. It takes you a little bit and some doing, but you tie a hitch and put a knot in it, and then you're good. And you kind of look over, and he just gives a nod, turns around, walks away. Now, 2 days pass as you're at sea. The waves are calm. You're kind of staring out at sea. Not much of note. As you're sitting there, you can see that a little bit of a wave kind of picks up over in the distance and then splashes down. The water picks up, and there's like this mist that's constantly around you. On the ship at this point, Skip kind of up towards the bow, sitting there in prayer. Ander probably up over towards the helm of the ship, near Captain Hawthorne. Finn probably as well over there. Moldrak over to the side, maybe, or Crow's Nest, wherever. Shadow over in the corner, just to himself. Orem also to himself, and Connor probably towards the bow, just kind of relaxing. As you're kind of splashing around in the waves, the travel begins and continues. It gets to a point where you watch Hawthorne is sitting there, and Andrew, for you, as he's next to you, he's kind of on a barrel, has like one leg picked up on the rail, and it's kind of unsettling because like the way he's sitting, like he like rocks and then like sits, and his feet actually come up off the side of the ship and then come back down, but he doesn't even like try to catch himself. He just seems like he's fine where he's at. As he's sitting there, he kind of goes and looks at you for a second.
See anything up in the crow's nest?
Looks back toward you. You good, man.
I didn't hear anything. I essentially assumed you didn't
Do
hear
you
it.
have perception for hearing?
He
Or
does.
is it for you?
Me?
Advantage, is it hearing and sight, or
Yeah.
sight and smell? I can't remember. I think it might be hearing and sight.
50.
Mine's here and smell.
Yours is hearing, so I think his might be.
I think it's here. I think it's but I'm gonna double check.
I know yours is smell.
More experience?
Moldrak has spider sense.
Bookmarks, bones. What do you mean? That it is. Oh, that's not even the right one. That's the... Go and get your own. Fucking storm and anything all day.
Southbrook. The only better ones are the ones from the, it is...
So long as I'm not blind, definitely
Renaissance
incapacitated, I have advantage on perception checks.
Okay.
20. As Hawthorne kind of looks back and is kind of staring, Finn, you don't really notice him doing it. You just kind of look back and you see him like with his feet kicked up and then look back towards the front. A lot of your time is spent just staring out at the water. And as for you, when he turns around, good then. You kind of sit there and listen for a second. As you're listening, there's almost like this. And then there's a splash of water. You hear this loud splash of water as you're kind of sitting up, and then you look back towards the stern. As you're looking back, you can see that the water far behind the ship, probably like a good 90 or so feet. There's like this, almost like a ripple in the ocean from where something is just kind of splashed down.
Okay.
And then as
Do I get a rough idea of size?
As you look and kind of look at it, the way that the splash was, you're guessing it's something like definite size. I mean, it almost like shakes you to your core for a second as you look, and then you're sitting up there kind of frozen.
I yelled down, I think we've got company directly behind us.
You are correct.
Full sail, set them down. Put them to dust. We are to run as fast as we can. Hurry, hurry!
And then as you hear that, there's like this huge splash of water hits the right side of the ship and kind of rocks it and kicks it up over to the side. You guys all start getting your bearings, and some of you slide over to the side.
I slide down the rope, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try and cast Wind Wall to like affect the sails to make them go faster.
You actually stop the sails.
I don't know if that
wall stops all wind.
Gust
would probably work better.
No, Gust is a cantrip. It doesn't.
I cast haste on the boat.
What about bikes? Doesn't Windmill put wind in the front, a cone in front of you?
It puts a wall up.
Wait, which one was? It's only
for a minute. And then it stops.
It's like the only wind spell I have. So.
Can we just blast dual thunder waves off the back of it, and they'll just push us?
15. You can make the wall.
Can you still do thunder?
50 feet long.
He can, and so can I. Let's do 3 fucking
1 foot
Off the
thick.
back of the boat.
Let's break the back of the boat.
Continuous path along the ground. The
Put
strong
the
wind
nitrous.
keeps fog, smoke, other gases, small creatures at bay.
Stand in a triangle, just enough to
Really, I want to
rock.
cast Gust of Wind at the sail zone.
Well, that would work.
You know, that, yeah, that.
I know that one.
Also,
All right.
if that worked, you guys would be
You look
fucked.
up
You're
and
gonna
cast
just be stuck
the
in the water.
gust towards the sails. As for you, Eldrak, you kind of slide down towards the side. As this water splashes up from the right side of the ship, it rocks it and actually shifts it almost to where like you're sitting and looking above the other side, and then have to like grab the rail, and then it splashes down again. Get your wits about you, everyone! This is going to take some doing! And then he grabs onto the helm and sits there. I need everyone to roll initiative.
What? I was about to say, Skip breaks out of play and grabs it.
I wouldn't have any of my armor weapons on me because I'm a so. Fuck.
That means
We can move it. Yeah. I'm not wearing it during the fucking day.
Make move.
It'll only take you like an hour to put out.
Make move your dice.
Yep, I'm trying.
It's better be worth a milestone.
Shut up! We can't get a milestone for every fight.
Yes, you can.
I want XP. You guys are fucking pussies.
We can prove I've been playing.
Okay, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna put it over here.
It's not
Nice.
unless we move. You can put that over the top of it.
We're just fighting a whale. Don't worry about it. We're good.
It's a whale that jumps.
What if it's a giant dolphin?
Whales jump out of the water all the time.
A giant dolphin that has
Dolphins rape, so...
Yeah, I think I'd be more scared of a giant dolphin than a giant whale.
100%.
Alright.
try and golf him. I try to get it in.
Those are chills worth the bow.
Alright, combat time.
Do it. Put it in. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, we put it.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork.
Does it?
It's the teamwork.
Teamwork. It's right down.
It does.
So I foresee a problem.
I don't know what that
I don't think I'm gonna... Not gonna lie, I probably don't have my scepter on
makes you
me.
hate your team.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to go get that now, aren't you?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
my scepter.
Yeah, I don't have much on me. There's no way I'd wear full plate.
I'm not in my clothes either. I mean, that doesn't really affect anything.
I can't
would not take
shred
that.
myself, so I'm always in the
Didn't take your medal off.
I think if I did that, it would just be a glyph chilling on the deck. Just like hopping around.
Is that Skip? What's he doing? What's he doing out of his
See, if you
armor?
carve the glyph out, you probably have just a piece of metal that has my soul.
Connor's also probably not in his armor.
They could put
It's
you in
lot
a new
of-
suit.
lot to carry around. You know?
One made of adamant.
Let's do it. Make me out of the strongest material possible.
Alright.
Wow, there's a lot more crew
You have a
members
short
than
people
I
instead
thought.
for you going play the season.
It is a big
That means there's a lot more people that are gonna die.
Takes a lot to man.
Not if we kill this thing.
I'm not jumping on it, so that's about the only time that I'm gonna be able to hit it.
You're gonna jump on it and then
Jump
just
Right
for the
eye.
right eye?
I'm gonna go just for the red eye. Yeah. Only the red eye. Good. I'd like to hit it in just yeah. That's it.
I hope Kyle's watching right now. Fuck you, Kyle. Holy shit, that was the most upsetting thing I've ever seen.
Riding a dragon. Oh, I want to hit it in the right eye while I'm standing on top of the dragon's head.
That will be a disadvantage. I don't care. Do it.
It's flailing around.
25 to 20.
Oh, you're gonna have to
I didn't even roll.
You're gonna have to call it another category.
Oh,
Wait, what was the cat?
Anybody 20 plus.
I do have to take a picture.
Okay, 20 to 15.
15.
19.
19.
13.
What's your pick? 20. What's your pick? Ender or Shadow? Or...
I put the
Main
one
code is
Come on.
fixed.
What's your first?
Shadow.
Doesn't matter to me either.
Jared's going
Ender's
first.
going first. Okay, who? 15. 15?
13.
Let's see.
He said 71, 40.
Did it?
15 to 10.
That's Kyle's
12.
watch, right?
13.
To make sure.
Is it?
It's not even 9. What'd you get, Skip? Or Finn?
13. And I have to go grab my fucking... my staff. So, that's what I'll be doing.
What
See you
okay.
in 3 minutes.
Here's a big boat.
I wish I could just like...
Well, you can double.
Hey, can we just retcon that it's like Thor's hammer where I can just like...
Bust his
Pictures the side of the
It's in
ship.
the bottom of the boat and just...
It's the opposite. When you call it, it goes away from you, so it just puts a hole in the bottom of the ship.
Alright.
I go to it.
Holy shit.
At this point, you guys all look around. What kind of fearful... The wave splashes and knocks the boat to the side, and you kind of all jump up, and if you have your weapon on, you take it out and look over at just... Not calm ocean, but just ocean. You don't see a creature or anything, just this huge wave hits and splashes, and then splashes back down, and then you begin to just take sail and just look over the edge and try to find something. Andrew, it's your turn.
Throw cards at the water.
Take your harpoon in
You are
hand.
here, the wave just hit from here. And picked the boat up this way and then just splashed it down, actually.
How comparable to the size of the boat?
I need a deck save from everybody.
I had to get away with it by
See, I ain't got much room to play with here, so...
Not me.
20.
17.
We out, boys.
This is gonna hurt.
I'm not.
This is really gonna
I
hurt.
got a 7.
7?
Oh, I got 16.
You were up here.
I slid down before.
Oh yeah, he did say
you
he slid down.
and then...
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just... Boom.
Yeah.
I got a 17.
17. 19, right? Or some shit.
That was like, I called it out and then said,
Andrew, what'd you get?
Why can't I do
15? 13? 12? Okay, so the only one that really went down. Okay. As it slams and hits, the crew that wasn't on this, or some of the crew that was on the other side of the ship, once it flipped over, they went to go grab on and then eventually like hit and splash. You watch one of them actually hit the rail here, go to catch, and then slam and splash into the water. And as he splashes into the water, kind of takes a couple of swims over towards the ship to try and grab the back end of it or some sort of a ladder that's there, and the ship kind of keeps going a little bit. Andrew, you're up. What are you doing?
Is there a rope near me? I don't need it.
It's a boat.
There would be a sail here. I didn't put the sails on because that's hard and you can't see. A sail here with like rope coming up to it to raise and lower it. There's a sail here with rope kind of coming down here and here and here and here. And then this sail has rope to here. Okay, quick question before I do this. Does rope sink in water?
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure before I throw the rope and then be like, it sunk under the water. The guy's
Are you looking for just like a bundle of rope?
No.
Because there's bundles of rope just sitting around.
I get it. That'll actually work better than going into my bag. I'll grab some rope, run to that side.
Over here?
Yes.
You're running like up here or back here?
Large stone like that.
You probably actually do, huh? More to the back. Look like towards like the corner where there you go. And then I'll try to sauce the rope as far as I can into the water.
Alright, go ahead and just make a, let's say,
10
athletics check.
Oh, cool.
Athletics.
It doesn't make it off the side.
Oh, I was gonna.
That's the only thing I'm good at.
I have an idea for that one. If this works.
18? Alright, good. The rope itself, you just kind of take a bundle of it, because you're not going to get very far with just the front part. Just take a bundle and just chuck it out towards the water. As you chuck it out towards the water, it kind of gets caught in the wind a little bit and fall up and then splashes down and then starts unraveling from the coil that it's set on as it like floats out towards the water from just like the boat moving and the waves.
I'll still hold it.
Alright. Let me grab onto it.
Where's that? I'm trying to find it.
Perception.
Okay.
At this point, the second the wave hits, you just grab onto the banister, railing, whatever you want to call it. Once you grab onto that, you have to like actually adjust yourself to hold yourself in position where you won't flip backwards just because you're at the back end of it and it picked up more. So once you grab it, you just kind of sit there and then rock back to like your knees and then kind of stand up and grab the katana, get it out, and then sit there and look around and listen.
I'll do shadow form.
Okay. Connor.
What time of day is it?
It is probably like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Adjust that camera. Actually move that camera like, no, don't do that. Just,
Well, I didn't think there was going to be as much room back there because we were on one table, so.
yeah, it's okay.
But I mean, you could.
I don't know if you can see like get it to work.
Oh, this? There's the zoom. You could try the zoom.
Can we just point it down? Is there anything you want to do on your turn, Connor? Just keep going down.
Strong arm?
Yeah. It's not going to break, I promise. And then just adjust it this way. Can you actually set it right in this area?
Probably.
Yeah, go ahead. It's the cable should be fine. Move that sand first. Connie's just tilted back.
Where's the nose?
Straight at you.
We can move the mic
Can we set
further.
it right here?
The mic?
No, the camera.
We can. I mean, the cable.
Let's try to move it over. Just really quick. See this one.
The stream's still going. That's awesome.
It's okay. Just pull it a little bit.
Oh no, actually,
There we go.
Yeah.
They were just really tight back here.
Okay.
Close it is.
Yeah.
Does it zoom out all the way?
I don't know if this
What's
works. Oh, I just fucking. think it's probably unfun. Alright. What do you want to do on your turn, Thomas?
It hit what? Right next to me.
More towards the back end, but on that side, yes.
Okay. I'm just going to.
It's still plugged in.
I'm just gonna search.
Alright, go ahead and make a perception check.
Natural.
Hell yeah.
Fucking
See the entire.
like shit, buried treasure.
Alright, so, as you begin to look out towards the water, there's a brief moment where you kind of slam into the front of the ship there. There's like a small step like here that goes up and on the other side as well. As it does, okay.
Small drug getting pissed.
It's good enough. As the like wave hits and you slam into the front of the ship, you kind of grab onto it and instantly, while you're like leaning against it, looking back at the where the splash came from, once it hits down, you see the top parts of something kind of push over the top of the water. You see all of these like kind of spiky, almost top. You don't actually see it totally, but you see these very, very hard ridges up towards the top of the head, like kind of peer down. You see like the top part of some eyes, and then these like almost arm-like things that they're not like arms, they're just more tentacles that have these like spikes and ridges along the top of them too, and then it kind of splashes down into the water.
I mean, what did I see? Like which way it would be facing?
It's facing this way.
And then at the end of my turn, I'm just gonna yell, "It's probably coming back around."
Oh no. Alright. You guys hear Connor shout out? Skip, you're up.
Skip's gonna get off the bow because it's not a good spot to be right now.
on you, and we could have this one for the man.
I want to get off the bow because it's not a good spot to be right now.
Okay. Where you heading?
More towards my left side of the ship, so over here.
Alright, this is a full like 25 feet to get off this, so
Yeah.
you can get down
Full
here and then
25.
there's one more space.
Say port or starboard?
I'd like to stand more in the middle of the sails, like over a little bit more. Yeah, probably right there. Just wait. I want to see what side it comes
You
out
can,
to.
as an action dash, if you want to get more somewhere.
See how many
You know what?
names
Yeah,
are
I'll
about?
dash too.
Okay, where do you want to get to?
Just about where this crew member is.
Like here?
Yeah.
Not
The
that
second
way.
you get over to there, that guy's holding onto a rope attached to the sail with his eyes like super wide. Goes to grab like some sort of a sword from the side. It's a little rigid and like tore up. Like there's like chips and stuff in it, but he's like looking around, grabbing on.
I'm gonna. How much do I have left of this movie? 25.
Yeah,
Where's the spot to bring people? Like,
10 feet.
I got 10 feet. Where's the spot to bring people under deck?
They're right on the right actually where you're standing. There's
Good.
like a little grate here.
After that happens, Skip's gonna grab this dude by his shoulder, or like his shirt. He's gonna open it up. He's just gonna kind of like get him under the deck, and he's gonna start doing that with most of it.
Once you grab that guy and like go to pull him towards you and like put him underneath, he's like, "Wait, what are you doing?
Saving your life.
I don't care about me life. It's me shit. Captain's gonna kill me worse than whatever this thing will do if I let it go down without fighting." You see him grab onto the rope and pull closer.
I mean, I can't argue it. You don't want to go, doesn't want to go.
Alright, just pull him overboard.
Yeah, throw it.
After Skip's turn, Finn, you're up. You want?
I have to go into the cabins and grab my scepter, so I will.
Would I see Finn do that?
Yeah.
Can I scream for him to grab my hammer while he's at it?
Yeah, go.
Grab a hammer while you're at it.
Come on, Orum. Come on, Orum.
I'm nasally. I can't do the Orum approach.
Nasally Orum is seasick. Yeah.
Alright.
Oh no, my left it right!
Alright, so Finn runs under deck to grab the...
I throw it up through the ship.
And then it's touching...
We went through this, boys. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea.
The whole back end of the ship starts sinking down.
Alrighty, Stefan goes through the Moldrak.
I'm up.
You're up.
I'm gonna stand
You're
up.
on the ground, but
Yeah,
now you're
I'm
up.
gonna stand up. And how far away is that guy in the water?
He's looking at him, like the way that he's moving and the ship's moving, like he's pretty on track to just be gone. Like he's moving pretty quick. He's a good...
Is he more than 30 feet away?
10, 15, 20. Just a good 30.
Okay. I'm going to swirl up some of the water that's on deck, and to up to 10 people I'm going to cast Water Walking. On the guy in the water, on Ander, on the captain, on Finn and Skip.
I don't want to be that guy.
Finn's under deck.
The water walk is a ritual, because I also want to have the same idea.
No, it takes one action. I just looked it up.
It takes an hour to have the water.
No, I just looked it up.
Let's double check.
Which book?
I just looked it up to make sure it's the PHB.
Since when did Orm care about the rules?
Lightning. I was gonna do that too. I was like, I don't know what yell at me.
No, casting time and action can be cast as a ritual.
Oh, what?
It lasts for an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Alright,
I just
so...
looked it up to make sure.
Don't cast it on me, because
Wait,
I'm not going in the water.
15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, so Skip.
Finn's below deck, so I can't cast it on him. But I want to cast it on the sailor out who's in the water right now.
He's gonna lose his shit when he just stands.
You
You don't believe I can catch him with the rope? Come on. Come on.
Well, that running is much faster.
You can either get Orm or the captain, so you'd have to move this way to get Orm or stay where you were and get the captain.
I can't get both.
Turning everyone into a Naruto character.
5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Oh yeah, you can 5, 10.
You can only walk on the water if your arms
Just
are behind your
Okay,
back. as you
so
go.
yeah, I'm just gonna.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4,
Physics.
5.
Can I get Connor?
You're shifting your body
Or
weight.
no? He looks like you
To
might
levitate.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, he's too far.
Yeah, then I will do it on myself and the remaining sailors around me. So I take the water that's already on deck and I swirl it up, and it coalesces at everyone's feet, and there's like a small burst of energy around their feet.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Even if it's not 10, just
Okay,
whoever I
so
can get.
one of these people won't have it.
Okay.
Wow, thanks for mind freaking us all.
Alright. After Moldrak does that,
And then I yell out to the guy, "Get up and run!"
you see, he's like,
You yell.
he's still kind of like swimming.
I can't run.
Stand up!
You just got mind freak.
I'll let as you are sitting here,
Yeah, it moves them up to
Towards
like
the
they're
back of
laying
the
on the
ship.
ground.
Oh, goodbye.
Shadow, as you grab and kind of get your bearing and then stand up and look and are kind of like over the rail, your eyes kind of widen, and you watch very, very slowly this large form that's in the water kind of start getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh my god.
And then there's this
Perfect time to get my tsunamis.
Unless it just takes away.
What the fuck is that? That's awesome!
jumps forward and takes its claws over up towards the side of the ship and actually sinks them into it and is right in front of you and has its mouth wide open.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Looks cute.
I can't actually see
That's
that
a
face.
26 to hit.
Barely.
Yeah.
Barely.
How much do I have to roll to tame it?
A lot.
900 on a d20.
What if that's the thing that he brought on the D1?
Well, the thing's
Still not.
Still not getting 900.
I have a plus 800 bonus.
Oh shit. Damn.
Does anybody even know what that is?
I wouldn't know.
I know Skip wouldn't know. I'm saying
2
like
points of
real life.
piercing damage.
Not bad.
Alright. And you need to make a strength or dexterity save.
Dexterity.
I think for this
You're like poison strength.
No balls.
Damn,
Got a
said it.
space. I just can't remember what it is.
13.
13. So I see everything.
Alright, guys.
Hey, I got 0 points, right?
Yes.
Shadow's about to take
I'll add
one. You can use more than one.
Do one more. Alright, 20.
20. Alright. So, as he grabs onto the ship, you watch it splinter and wood cracks and goes all over the place. Kind of rears up and his head gets up and you see all of these eyes on the side that start like blinking really fast. The two eyes in the front stay wide open, and as he's opening his mouth you see this like dripping liquid from it and water mixture. All this water behind him splashes up. You can't really see the back end of it, just his head as it splashes up. Reaches down and bites onto you. Actually like clamps down and slams you to the side of the ship and then rips it, like opens its mouth up and you actually slam down to the ground. Your legs bleeding pretty heavily. You get up and kind of limp for a second before adjusting yourself, take the katana and take a step back and stare up at it.
Whoa.
The other sea has the kraken.
Windmaster Orum.
That's, I'm sorry, it's another picture.
Stay boosted. Let me do it.
Yeah, you got it. It's for the Twitter.
So we're actually seeing now, right?
I just want to know.
I'm going to head to where it's at.
I think it looks like something out of The Simpsons.
You're gonna head over.
Yeah. As far as I can get towards it.
Yeah, like out of the toxic waste.
I took about 20, hopefully it won't fuck.
How do you take pictures? You don't take 20, there's 30. If you take 20, there's at
Summon
least
Todd,
one that's good.
roughly part of it. I have 60 for range for Todd for some reason. He's got his 4 eyes.
I want to aim for all 4 eyes.
Hell yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh, Todd!
Todd said,
He was. Todd falls off the wall.
On its head?
Yeah.
he said, what's up?
Todd's
Yeah, no.
Todd attack.
That's 18.
18?
17, I'm sorry.
17 to hit?
Yes.
Hard to hit.
17 hits.
We're
I'll take 14 damage.
Just hit with a 7.
14?
I'm missing really high health.
No!
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm really bad.
Low AC, high health?
11.
It's going to take a lot.
And then I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt on it.
Ooh.
With my actual
Speed boost.
Camaro.
Real quick, you said this thing's on the side of the boat right now?
Has its claws in the actual back end.
Okay, good.
It's a,
That's good?
Camaro. 3d6.
Yeah, it's really good.
I can use my sentinel feat on it, which turns the speed to 0. So if you can knock its
That's,
claws off, I can hit it and make
14
its speed
damage.
go to 0, and we can pull ahead.
And then all
I can
attacks
put everything that I have into
have
one.
advantage on it
Do
until
the one
I
hit
start the
real
next
quick.
turn.
I think he has 2 claws.
Alright, how much damage was it?
14.
I'm saying I could do,
Can you knock it back? Well,
I can do more than knock it back.
It might be 2.
It might be, yeah, you're right. Because we don't actually know the full size of it. I can hurt it, that's for sure.
The ham, Todd slams down over the top as it forms. It kind of is like very translucent and then forms to almost like this solid color of like gold and bluish like lightning crackling through it. Slams down on top of the head and it's like breaks apart and like and then forms itself again. And then you shoot a lightning bolt right across the top part of the brow. And as they both hit, like you see the creature just kind of doesn't even like blink or phase from it. Definitely hurts it, but it just doesn't seem like it's.
That kind of puts Orm a little like off guard. He's
Todd over here, you know, MVP.
Alright guys, your attacks have advantage on it. On my next turn.
Ander. Sitting there. The ship shifts to the left or to the right and it's like still pushing
You can
forward.
dash.
You turn around and see this huge maw open up and towards the back. Clasps down on Shadow, bites him, and then like slams him down to the
Without hesitation.
ground.
I'm going to take all the damage from him until I get there.
That's a good idea.
What do you want to do?
This one's stressful.
Yeah. You're in the ocean. Maybe we could just walk home.
Yeah, right.
I'll walk the rest of the way, thanks.
What are you doing, Ander? Oh, Shadow, you're up there.
I think it's not.
It's an attack it.
Doggy paddle away.
He's just racist.
Alright. We're already fucked. Might not actually hit it.
They can
14?
vanish to another dimension.
14?
14 to hit? 14 hit.
I'm excited.
Boys, actually, I only miss with a natural 1.
Yeah.
I actually just rolled a 2.
I only have to roll like 1. That's one way to do it too. Skill.
10 damage. This one's got the first one. Next card.
Oh, you miss.
Home Bolt. That's going next. It would be the next card anyway. It's not cheating. It's not cheating. I'm not cheating. Oh my
You guys were rule warrior and me a minute ago.
We're going.
30?
Does
that hit?
Sure, it does it.
I'm just double carry trouble.
Another 10? I wonder what this is. I'm going to use my bonus action and attack again. I wonder what this is.
Auto
Didn't know
miss?
that.
I'm just gonna make sure it's gonna be good.
I'm in hit teleport to the target location.
Hey, I don't have to throw it at him, okay?
Throw it at me.
No.
Where are you throwing it?
Throwing it at the wood. At Moldrak.
I catch him.
Wait, where are you?
I'm right next to you, 3. I'm over in the middle.
Did you cast water walking on me?
I did. Oh, you could throw it at the guy.
I'm throwing it at the guy.
Alright, roll an attack.
What, so you can both drown?
Can you just throw it near him?
No, they can walk.
I'm sniping this guy. I said 22.
He's like
Still
pulling him up out of the
still takes damage.
Well, you threw it next to him, right? You don't have to throw it at him. You want to throw it at him?
Might as well.
Hey, if I can throw it next to him, I'll take it.
hard minutes.
You throw it and it splashes and hits the wave. Once it hits the wave, your hand's still outstretched. You blink over and holding onto it, kind of the wave splashes up and hits you and kind of knocks you back a little bit, but you're standing on the water.
You can. Yeah. It's a reaction.
All right. Shadow, you're up. Connor, you're on deck.
Any shadows on Dome Piece? Shade.
From the clouds, from the call lightning.
Is there homework?
I don't know.
I didn't
know what this is. Oh, that's guiding bolt. That's what it is.
There's about to be shadows if you
No,
want
you
to
can
wait.
use the guiding bolt thing.
There's about to be lots of them.
Probably right, like on this side.
What do you have?
Is it like
Jerry can just
straw on
take
his head or is it like fire?
It's like in his shoulder. Because his head's like up above where the sun is just coming directly over. So anything on like this side of him has shadow.
I'm saying if it works, Jerry actually has 200
back and run
IQ.
forward and
I just want you guys to
flip
know.
onto his head.
Alright, make an acrobatics check.
I don't know.
18.
200 IQ player.
Although it might be good then.
It has to make the. Oh god.
Try and plunge the blade in
I know
one
I said
hand.
that.
Go for only the right eye.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
You have advantage.
You have advantage on it, yes.
Guiding bolt.
Guided bolt.
I mean, he is riding like a horse.
27.
That hits.
Barely. Oh.
You can always yell out. You can always
20.
yell out.
20?
21.
He just like, if that's what they give you, good something to shit.
Oh no. As you take a step back, you run over towards the side and put one foot on the deck of the ship, another onto the rail, and then flip off of that, and as he's sitting there holding onto it, take the katana and just kind of spin it around and then with the momentum slam down into the top part of the head. It doesn't dig itself deep into the forehead, but once you hit it, you actually hear it for the first time like react to some sort of pain.
I know,
It
but he
hits,
doesn't
like,
know that.
kind of sinks in and you watch
I
the
told
dark
him to
green
stand
blood
up.
start to ooze from it. There's like a and you watch the eyes on the side kind of blink and look up towards you.
Did I expend this?
Yes, thank you. Alright. Connor, you're up. Skip your on deck.
I get within 30 feet of it.
Within 30 feet of it.
I have 30 feet of movement.
No, probably not. 30.
It's this thing. Just barking at us.
Crazy that monster barks. Like,
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm just going to see the range. I'll just shoot it with Litari's light right now.
Alright. Alright, and that's standing there. You take the necklace and grab from the center and kind of make a shape like this with your hand, and then grab on the sides of the crystal ball in front of you that has the galaxy in it. Just pull forward. All these stars kind of collect on the front side of it. You spin it around and then throw it, and it goes in this very, very dart-like fashion and slams into the upper right part.
Real damage.
And I believe there is some sort of effect.
Nope.
No?
Only if it's an inanimate object.
Alright.
Yeah, I wanted a dog from Dun. I can't speak.
Alright.
Dunch. Dunch. That's what we're calling for. Alright, so I want to run my full 30 towards this beast. Does that put me within 30 feet of Shadow? No? Okay, I'll dash. And then I want to use my bonus action.
Is he still grappled onto the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to use my bonus action to use without hesitation on Shadow.
Is it a bonus action?
Yes, it's a reaction. Use it.
What?
It says. Let me. As a reaction.
Yeah, it's a...
Okay, never mind then. Fuck. Well, then I'm kind of just standing there like an idiot now. In front of this thing.
If it goes to attack him, though, can you use it?
Okay, then I'll hold my.
No, you should grab your second.
Yeah, I'll just.
Then you are up.
am I,
Probably going to take your whole turn to grab your scepter, the hammer for Orem, and then make your way back up.
the whole time I'm screaming.
Alright.
Not again. Officer.
I'll direct you up.
Alright, I don't know what to do now.
Kill it.
Because then they're like, don't...
You know what? Anti-sea monster
I don't know what Connor's going to do, though.
Anti-sea monster man.
He seemed like he was going to do something cool.
Draw a sea bear circle.
Yep.
That's what we gotta do.
Alright, yeah.
Draw it already.
I'm gonna move my 30 feet towards the creature.
Alright.
Preferably this way, if I can.
Oh, this way?
Yeah. Okay. And then, I'm gonna, reach up into the sky and shoot a spark up into the air, and dark clouds start to form, and I cast Call Lightning.
God damn it!
Got him. Easy clap. 200 IQ.
Alright.
And then I'm gonna...
Dex save?
Yes, it leaves.
Wait.
No.
Wait, no.
Wait. Oh wait, I think. Hang on.
18 for the save.
Well,
Iron hit.
before that. It's not concentration. What is? I know, but water walk is not. Alright, so
Everyone
I cast falling.
Now, Shadow
I hit the butt end.
the back end of it's in the water. Everything you see is all around. So there's not like a back to it. Like that's it coming out of the water.
Alright, I'll do my best to avoid Shadow, but I didn't really know.
What is it? Is it within 5 feet at one point? I guess.
You know, he's within 5 feet of the point, but they get 30 seconds, bro.
Yeah, you probably drop it on the shoulder.
Okay, I'll go for that then.
Alright. Dexterity saves at 18.
That makes it, but he still takes half damage.
I've still got 90 health, so.
shit. 17 damage.
17, nice. Half?
Yeah, half.
I need my spell effect. Where's the box?
It's not storming right now, is it?
It is.
It is?
It creates a lightning storm literally over his
No, I meant one.
Is there a storm? Is it in your backpack?
Jared, do you know what's in the box?
Should be in his well, it is now.
Spell effect.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, didn't bring it.
Is it in your bag? Your backpack? You brought?
So you would not consider it to be currently storming right now.
Not except for my cloud.
It was already storming, right, Billy?
Before we grabbed it.
No,
it was not storming.
It was sunny.
No, you know where you put it? You put it under the seat.
I'm trying to get you
Remember?
more, I'm trying to get you more shit.
Who's creatures that do it? Jared, run up to the truck real quick. Under the back right seat. The
It's done.
box.
He needs that drop. Yeah,
You need to go.
You got this. I believe.
Scuff street. Go.
Alright. Moldrek, as you walk forward, you kind of step up the stairs, get up there, take the hammers and just kind of like slam them together, and as you do, there's this cloud that slowly starts forming, and then you take the hammers and start moving them around. A little bit of lightning like crackles from the cloud into the actual hammer itself, and you don't even flinch. Just keep doing it, moving it around, and then take both hammers and slam them downward. A little bit of lightning flies off the hammer and goes from the cloud and just slams straight down into the shoulder, where you watch it actually kind of like let go of that side of the ship for a second, and just kind of like Shadow, you on top, but the blade buried in. Feel yourself kind of like pick up and jolt around.
Sorry about that, Shadow.
I'm not going to thumbs up after so you can call somebody.
The creature. Ball lightning squad.
Pretty chat.
Thunder. Thumb in the air.
The creature. Skip's right on.
Yeah, Skip's really shiny. Is this thing the ooh shiny kind?
You just like teleport. I didn't even hit you.
As it's sitting there, it goes, you're expecting it to reach and grab back onto the ship, but actually lets go with this hand, and then kind of sinks down for a second, and then splashes into the water. Are you letting go? Or are you hanging on?
My sword's pulling out.
Yes.
Righteous.
If you wanted to, you definitely could feel it. It's not in there very good.
You have to tap X to slash.
Try to backflip.
Come on, Kratos, you got it.
Acrobatics.
21.
21.
Smash away to keep sword out.
Damn it, I was gonna backflip
You
him. Shit,
land
then
in
it just
Skip's
killed him.
arms romantically.
He just landed in the water. He's fine.
Alright, splash down there.
God damn it, I just got up with this thing.
Todd was hanging on. Goes with it.
I don't let go.
Shadow rhythm monster. Look.
Under the seat.
In the back.
Under the seat.
Probably get an
Set it in
opportunity
the back
attack
under
for
the
doing
seat.
it.
Oh, I thought you said he's under the
Hell
seat.
yeah.
Please, Drake.
Under the
What's it? He said under the bed.
He did before he even left the first time.
17.
Flip it in the screen. 17 hit hits.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Downwards, wherever.
As you watch Shadow flip off,
He totally
Todd
fell
forms
down.
himself again and then
That's
slams
right.
down, and as he hits like the back end of the creature, you don't even see it wince. It just splashes down into the water. Once it gets down over here,
Oh god. It's like right next to him.
Oh my god.
They can walk.
splashes up in the water. Ander gets hit from like a big wave and kind of puts him onto the ground, and then he pushes himself back up. The guy that's in the water is trying to like grasp something in order to stand up on the water, and then he's
can
trying
pull
to just
himself
like get up as best he can. Gets up like with a knee up into the onto the water. As he does that, you watch the creature that's there kind of sit there for a second and then pop up and like look down at Ander and the individual there, and then kind of go back into the water and start swimming extremely fast in a circle.
No!
just right here.
Suck my boys back
See
up!
the tail of it actually starts to appear and slowly come up. It's got all of these ridges and stuff along the back end of it. The tail's kind of like in this very, very circular shape as it keeps going around and around and around. Right there.
This is just like the Earth robot.
The second that hits and is sitting there, you actually feel the ship shift to the left. And like kind of, as it's going forward, almost like splashes and gets pulled over towards this now forming whirlpool that you can see on the side of the ship. As you're feeling like the ship starting to like take and give and go away from it, it's actually starting to slowly wrap around and turn in this direction. Even though the heading was this way, the sails were all pushing it that way, this whirlpool starts yanking it inward. Ander, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh boy.
Not 20.
An 8.
Strength save, not an athletic saving throw?
No, strength.
Good try.
That's a 10.
10?
See ya. It popped up next to you guys, now it's making a whirlpool to suck you guys in.
I can't remember.
Compare that to what you'd spend on the
It's nothing. It's nothing.
He would have been, if that sailor was in the water, he would have been like launched up onto the ground. It says it, if a creature is submerged in liquid, the spell carries the target to the surface of the liquid at a rate of 60 feet per round.
Oh yeah, you'd have been in. But still the water flows going in.
Yeah.
You feel, as you're trying to step on the water, it's like an escalator or some sort of like conveyor belt pushing you in the other direction. As you're taking steps, this water is just sucking you towards it. And you watch the creature as it does that, kind of just duck down and open its mouth up in the center of the whirlpool. Orm, you're up.
This is great. I do not get any suck me off.
Remove cog, push your boat.
Alright. 20 feet?
That's what leaning on that, you might get one of your camera buttons.
Oh, you're right.
Take what you want.
Alright.
How many?
I guess red and water.
Okay.
I do not hit.
What'd you get?
4 plus 9.
Which is? 12, right? 12 hits.
12 hits? What?
4 plus 8.
Giant.
These things got a lot of
hits.
hits. It's that would start being got a lot of hits.
This call lightning is a 60-foot cloud, so I don't know where. I'm guessing I would have sent it
Is it a
to
radius?
Yeah.
That's gonna be 18 damage, and the next hit has advantage.
Yeah, probably like there.
Just on the back end of it.
Well, if that whirlpool keeps pulling us,
The cloud will, yeah.
but yeah, the cloud doesn't.
How much damage?
13.
13. Alright, at this point, the crew starts coming to. All of them were just kind of grabbing and moving around frantically. You watch Hawthorne taking the helm. We need to lose weight! I have no control over this!
I jump off.
If you are able to, go underneath, grab some barrels, throw them over. Looks over to you, right to his right. Modrak, we need your help. Grab as many of the barrels as you can and just toss them. It's either we lose the cargo or we lose our lives. Start spinning the wheel into the other direction at this point.
Oh,
Everyone!
You can just dump everything in the boat.
He starts.
Oh my god.
He starts spinning. You can see him like.
Yeah, I know what I have.
He has like veins coming out of the side of his arm from him just like squeezing the helm and pushing it over. You watch Jameson walk over to it. Who is this guy laying down here? Gets up, walks over, grabs it and starts doing it a lot easier than him. The crew is over on the sides. Hawthorne takes a couple of steps over towards the stairs. Everyone, get the sails configured. Hurry up! We cannot defeat this beast, we must outrun it. He looks over the edge. Get back on the ship!
was that easy, dude.
Hey, dude.
I'm gonna give the captain a stern talking to when I get back on the ship.
I have water walking too, don't I?
I'm gonna pirate his ship now.
Most people.
You think I'd be able to run out and grab?
Not Connor, not Finn. You. I mean, if you have the strength for it, yeah.
Also, you're pretty far away on the ship.
Yeah. Well, we're getting pulled closer, so.
Alright.
At this moment.
Where's that rope now? I need to...
In the water, did you let go of it?
It's probably all.
That's a good point. I didn't even think... I was
Andrew,
holding it.
you are up.
Forgot I didn't tie it down.
You still have the end of it, you're just in the water.
At the start of your turn, you need to make your strength saving throw. Oh, wait.
The end of it.
Yeah, make a strength save.
Elbows on the table, dude. You're all in my way. You're all in my space. That was a far roll for a dog shit thing.
Who's this?
Brian always rolls high.
Brian just rolls high regardless of what he rolls.
That's a 1.
Never mind. Can I get advantage? Being small. Five.
How much?
That's a 5.
5? You take 25 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, boys, I think there might be a rip.
Into the center of it. Once you get yanked to the center and you're standing on it, you can barely even catch your footing. You see the creature in front of you is like taking his hands upward and starting to like wrap them around where you're at and opening his mouth up. Water's kind of sucking into it. He's like kind of like pushing some of it up too as he's sitting there. So he's like, his water's splashing upward. You can like almost see your life flashing before your eyes as you're like slowly sipping into the mouth of the creature.
I would also die.
You still have your action and stuff.
It's 10 minutes.
I don't have my movement, right? No movement?
Your movement's half.
Oh, I'll run away from him.
Dash? Dash, just get the fuck away from it.
Dash for another 15.
Well,
Actually, I ain't going no.
10, 15, you're on the boat.
It's not even 15, it's 12.
you could probably make it to the edge of the boat.
5,
then.
10, you're on the boat.
Where?
What are you doing in a split second?
Okay.
What are you doing?
Oh, split second. Contain them.
Yeah, go for it.
You gotta understand, I don't give a shit. Gotta kill everyone. I'm trying to get that
It's
monster.
gonna kill you.
I'm trying to get that monster.
It's gonna kill you.
Hey, if I die, you guys get the milestone? Worth it.
You don't actually get a milestone.
No, not worth it.
Who cares about the miles?
I can't give you my life if we don't have a body to suck it into.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It's 14. Good.
What does all that I have can give out all of you?
9.
Tell him that it's literally only your own.
Well, then at this point, Finn is needed.
Why even a 2?
My
You get rolling
I am
space.
aware, okay? I suck. I suck at D&D. 20.
Hits.
See?
God, that's so...
7 damage.
7?
Yeah. This one's gonna be Ace of Spades. Mom of Spades. On a hit, target must succeed a strength saving throw or be knocked prone. That guy seems like he might not be able to be knocked prone, boys. Put that back. What I
Could he be sucked into his own whirlpool?
Can I suck him off? Maybe I'll leave it when he fucking roll.
2.
Brian has a trait right there.
Dog?
Well, plus...
19.
19. Hits.
A yeet? If you're not playing pinball when you roll your dice, you're doing it wrong. That's a 10. True. Big facts. Big facts.
Pinball dice tray. That's an idea.
Alright.
Look, that's a genius idea.
As the water starts pulling you into it and you're trying to step and walk, you take a couple of steps and start realizing it's almost useless at this point. You turn around and just in one quick moment throw 3 of the cards and they all sink into the creature. One of them even like hits into the back of the mouth and that's the only one it reacts to. The other 2 like hit into the forehead, hit to the body. He just sitting there and then the last one hits in the back of the throat and just kind of and then water pushes itself up. There's like this blue shimmer and the cards appear back on your belt. Shadow, you're up. Connor, you're on deck.
What kind of does now? Clouds around?
Only like over there.
How far is
Well,
So 60 feet.
it's everywhere, but
Like, yeah, no, it's not that.
so you're right here. Creature's right there.
Might be able to see how far.
Watch the screen.
20,
This.
25.
I can get in range, but like
20
shoulder again.
Yeah.
You could probably get
Around the edge of the boat. See within
If you
40
get to the edge of
feet.
the boat, I'm pretty sure you can do it. If
Yeah,
you
what's
get
your
right next to
movement?
that
35.
guard on the other side.
Yeah, you could. I think you could do it.
Get right where this guy is.
Yeah, if you. Yeah, you have the movement to baselines.
Probably not within this.
T-shirt.
I was looking at your t-shirt also.
Looks like it's
Give me a
not that.
130.
Those are right.
I mean, his arm,
I can't.
Not like
or
mine,
just
but
like the water next to him. You don't have water. And there's a whirlpool in the water.
Good call. Am I out of movement on the ship?
Yeah, that's all. That's the full 35.
I'm gonna dash. Get close here. And I'm gonna leap off the side and dance over to him.
Okay.
I'll do my thing.
Alright.
He's like, I made a copy, boys.
Alright. You watch Shadow, like, just very, very quickly, like, sneak underneath Skip, run over, doesn't take the steps, kind of just jumps down, runs over, jumps off the deck onto the rail again, and then you watch him in the air, just kind of like Nightcrawler style, just poops. And then as he poofs, like, poofs over to the actual creature itself, and then grabs onto the arm, and is sitting up there, spins the katana around, and gets ready to slam it into the side. I don't know you're at.
Alright.
Skip, you're on deck.
How far is the big monster from the boat?
Shadow
From the boat? About 30, 35 feet.
Alright, can I make it from where I'm standing? Can I make it to the guy closer to you on the edge of the boat?
Yeah, I think so. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. You want to go in here?
Run down.
Closer to you.
This guy.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. And now I'm going to, you said 30 feet?
Yeah, from there for sure.
Alright, that's what I need. I'm going to cast Charm Monster.
Alright.
He has advantage to Wisdom save,
Got it.
because we're fighting him.
Can you read it really quick?
Yes.
He may
Please work.
be immune.
Oh, if he's immune to charm, he probably can't be charmed by the spell.
It looks like he can be charmed.
You don't need to
He's
charm.
pretty charming.
You don't need to charm.
You attempt to charm a
charmed by
creature
him.
you see within range, must make a Wisdom saving throw, and it does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. If it fails, it is charmed by you until the spell ends, or until your companions do anything to harm it. The charmed creature is friendly to you. When the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed. By you.
Oh, so it'll be pissed.
It lasts for an hour.
By the time he...
I don't know if that's enough time for us to get out of its way.
extended spell.
Oh yeah. I don't know if it's
That's just a straight 19.
Straight 19.
Yeah, no modifiers.
Yeah. I made it.
Alright. As you are sitting there and Shadow bamps on top and is like hitting it, the creature's like slashing about and trying to get everything off of him while still like doing this whirlpool in front of him. Anders like floating around in the water, throwing cards back at it. It looks extremely pissed and is like rearing its mouth up and like chomping the water. It's like splashing all over the place, and you're trying to focus on it and use the spell, but this like starry energy that comes out from you like just passes over it. And Skip, you're up. Then on there.
I'm gonna run this way towards the open.
Okay.
Towards where it's kind of open. Just 30.
30?
Okay, so if I dash, part of my movement to be able to pick Ander up.
He's small enough, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump off the edge.
We're just both
Can
in
you
the
water walk?
same situation.
I have water walk on.
Cast it on
Yep. And then I'm gonna go grab him.
You wanna?
Strength save. Measure though, I get a sign.
I'm not using that though. Strength save. That's 12.
12.
So says one bullet creature.
Damn.
25 points of bludgeoning damage.
I only cast it.
You still have, now that it's half, you have, so 30, right?
Yeah.
5, 10, 15 gets half.
A spot. I can see
So you can move one square.
Move one towards Ander and then kind of turn myself around and just kind of hunker myself.
Yep. So as you
facing the creature.
facing it?
Yeah. Like my back to Ander.
Alright, so as you drop down and splash into the water and start, the second your foot gets close to the edge of the whirlpool, it almost like slips and pulls you towards it, and then your other foot, once you catch bearing onto it, you have to actually put your shield down and it starts like scraping and splashing across the water. All these waves are like splashing up and smacking the side of your armor, hitting you in the back, picking you up off the ground, and then slamming you back down. You finally catch your wits and like your feet on the ground, and then start walking as best you can, but you can feel with every step the water's almost like pulling you down. If you didn't have water walking, you could imagine this would just be hell inside of here. You're starting to slowly walk, you take a couple steps towards Ander, and then just turn around with the shield up towards the creature that just kind of opens its mouth and gets ready to bite. Then you're up. Waldrak, you're on deck.
Yeah. Am I on deck now?
No, you're up.
No, I mean like. Am I
yes, you're on the. You're on this deck. Yes.
Okay. Where's Oren?
Oren is right here.
I'm gonna give him his weapon.
5, 10, 15.
Okay. Do I? Since I gave him his weapon, do I even have an action?
No, that's just part of your movement if you need to.
Okay, cool. How far is the creature from me? 40 feet?
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, about 40, 45. Because this is actually the front of him, not just the base. This is like him. So he's about 45.
Cool. Boom boom in the mouth. Time bomb in the mouth.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. Sorry, people that are on him.
No, he's definitely big enough to where you could just smack him in the mouth.
Sure, but like, it's a 20-foot radius of the explosion.
In his mouth.
Oh. Yeah, it's probably just gonna hit
I'll take
Skip.
it.
Yeah, what about Shadow on top of him?
He's high enough up.
Alright.
I'll take it. Do it.
And yeah, the mouth's kind of breathing.
So that's a dex saving throw.
Versus the inside of his mouth.
It's a 6 for the dex save.
With a lower dex inside his mouth than on his body.
It's still up at this moment. So I'm probably not going to concentrate on it. Just based on the captain's orders.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Oh shit. That's cool.
Get the feat where you can reroll all ones.
Or just be a
Not for damage.
I'm doing a lot more.
22 damage.
Still good. Right to the inside of his mouth.
Yeah.
What's the
So yeah, so I go.
Dex save.
dex save?
Yeah, so that's a handoff to arm and then a quick scope.
Alright.
That's a 6.
6, yeah, that goes. So you take full 22 as well.
No
22?
Yeah. As you walk forward, the hammer, and the same motion, you just kind of take the staff and then quickly like click a couple of dials on it, and then the bead of sand flies off and slams into the back of the throat, and it's just kind of like this small bead of energy, and then this water kind of pushes forward, and the little sliver of energy flies outward, and then opens up, and then like implodes on itself, and all of this water and this energy splashes outward. The mouth opens up a little bit, and you actually hear like a and then the mouth kind of comes back. Skip, you almost get like a hit to the ground as it actually pulls you up, and then like pushes you back into the water, and then
That's
the
better.
splash behind you hits you. You kind of take the shield and look around and see Ander still behind you, trying to walk back towards the ship.
How big is the whirlpool thing?
It's about a 20-foot radius in the center, so you are definitely
Is
inside.
the creature like the center?
No, this is here.
Okay. So is he like on one side of it?
Yeah, he's on like the back end, so he's kind of like in the halfway point,
Right.
like with his mouth open, just kind of sitting there. reaching out.
Does it look
fighting.
like he's controlling it, or he just created
He just created it. Like he had like zipped in the water extremely quick and just kept doing it.
Real quick, how big compared to his mouth am I? How big compared to his mouth am I?
You're probably about the size of his tongue. His tongue's
That's all I
actually
needed
probably
to
a foot and a half bigger than you.
That's all I need.
That's hot.
This is a pretty accurate size. Like he's really not huge, but he's just a monstrous.
I can fit inside of his mouth pretty much, right?
If you wanted to do something like that, sure.
Thunder's commands him.
We're gonna get a lot
Brian's
of
got a
new
list
gear.
of how he can kill Skip, and he's just
All right.
I'm not trying to kill Skip. I'm trying to
go into the monster's mouth.
me.
Yep.
I was on deck.
Yep.
Now I'm going off deck.
Follow.
Under
Okay.
deck.
All right.
50 people log in.
5,
No?
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
I'm just dashing because.
Okay, then just making your way underneath.
Yeah, and I'm dropping Call Lightning
Okay.
because I'm not really going to be able to maintain concentration. Right. So I'm getting as close to like the heaviest cargo that I know of, and I'm going to start. I mean, I can't do it this round, but I'm going to start dumping it in the bag.
Okay. Alright. There are probably about 30 or so crates that are stacked towards the back. All of them, once you actually, are you just taking the whole crate probably wouldn't fit.
No, I'm just dumping the contents into the bag.
So once you kind of get into the crate and like,
Keeping in mind the weight limit of the bag, once I hit the weight limit, I'm going to start carrying things outside and throwing them, but...
okay. At this point, you probably just, with your full movement and everything, get
Yeah.
down there and like, kind of look around really quick. There's
the
like,
heaviest?
there's probably about 5 or 6 crew members that are underneath that seem like they're not just waking up, but are just starting to like, really come to. And they see you come down and just kind of look at you for a second.
What's the heaviest?
Back there! All of that's metal! They kind of point with their...
That's where I focus the last of my movement to get over there.
Okay, full of beanie babies.
running back in that direction.
And that's okay.
Alright. Next, reach out.
Got an 8-foot metal beam.
I'm an 8-foot tall man.
Funko Pops and
Oh.
Mini Babies.
Is it?
Oh shit. He wasn't.
Was I within 5 feet?
That boy moved.
You watch him kind of still on the surface of the water, kind of splashes down, takes like pulls with both arms and like does this quick movement. Just make a strength save really quick.
Okay, yes.
It's not too hard, but 16? Okay, that's enough to... Once he like puts his arm down and then the other one, you have to like grab onto one of the ridges that are on his back, or like that tentacle that's kind of sitting there, and you feel yourself like wind kind of push and gust.
Sharp.
The tentacle itself is not sharp. The ridges are kind of sharp, yeah. But the tentacle, like if you just kind of threw an arm around that, would be okay. As he pulls forward, you feel the speed from it, and then he just kind of zips over there, dumps his whole mouth into the water, and then just spits this huge jet of water across the surface of the boat.
That thing is below deck.
Everybody within that needs to make a strength saving.
All these guys have water walking.
I don't.
Are you gonna walk on the street?
Except for you.
Yep.
Except for Tom. The guy who needs. Yeah, Finn doesn't. No. Not everybody.
Mostly nobody in that group.
Orem has it and all those sailors do.
$15? 6.
16, nice.
Alright, so you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. You take 9. You guys are not knocked back. You take 19.
Glad I'm still on the boat. That's all that matters.
What are you trying to say?
Start running back to the boat is what he's trying to say.
Alright.
Nobody come right out, get my...
Bring that ass here, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah.
About the mine, yeah.
Dex save.
Dex save!
Too bad that the mining doesn't
Alright, great.
actually work, so I'm
That's
still
a
doing
2.
stuff.
That's 11 damage. Push back 10 feet.
I don't think this thing could be pushed back.
Oh, he can. It's a rebuke.
Just it has to respect the rebuke. And
Does it
just,
say they're immune to being pushed back at a certain point? He's fucking huge.
It might be larger floor, actually, you're right.
Yeah, I think gargantuan.
I think it's
Large or small.
How big is it?
She crying.
And then he just said, this fucking guy, dude. He's changed his
Yeah, we're all
gender
fighting this
every-
thing like Shadow's not on top of it.
We had Shadow with us?
Shadow's
I'd
been
never
avoiding
see
our
him.
attacks.
Yeah, it's
just
far too
fine.
smaller.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't.
I didn't even know where Shadow was
He's just like,
at all during the entire
Stop trying to
campaign.
fucking hit me.
After the water kind of flies forward, the back end of it that's kind of coming forward, you take the hammer and just kind of like do a gesture towards it, and then as you do that, a little bit of lightning like comes down from the sky and slams into that water and like kind of zaps the inside of the mouth.
It's from what's left of my cloud. That is call lightning clouds.
Alright. Forum, you are up.
I'm gonna cast Call Lightning on another one.
Hey, the clouds are already there, man.
It was already currently storming due to the cold lake.
Would you consider already storming from like the last Call Lightning?
They were starting to fade.
Those are fake clouds.
Does it say it stays? Yeah, it doesn't stay.
That's raspberry or
You
something.
pick it next to it.
But like thematically, I feel like.
Guess it's also a fourth level. 7?
Yes, this is.
I'm gonna, it's 40-10, I'm gonna max damage with my plan, just goes 40 damage.
He's dead.
It's 3D.
We want to
I'm
fight,
doing
boys.
fourth
He's
level.
dead.
Alright. With that, you kind of, after the lightning crackles inside of the mouth, you stand there for a moment and then just take the hammer upward and kind of point it, and then just like slam it down, and you feel like all the muscles kind of tense in your body, and this energy kind of pushes through you. This cloud circles extremely quick and then bulges out, and then there's this huge bolt of lightning that just slams over the left side of its face and like crackles across it. A little bit of it like kind of singes it. After it gets hit, it kind of splashes over towards the side and looks like it's about to like dive into the water.
I'll bring Todd towards me, wherever you're at.
Towards you. This is the first main captain turn. Gets over towards the edge and grabs onto the banister. Shadow, get your ass into this boat. We are leaving. Turns back around, goes over towards the
Is that
side.
what you're doing on top of
If
it?
anybody else over here is not doing anything, get under deck. We need to get some more weight off of the ship.
He's
It's like,
T-posing
don't
on
worry,
it.
I'm on that. I can get about 400 pounds off the
Flanking.
I have a half pig in there.
Shadow's blanking on top of one of his tentacles.
You're putting metal in and throwing plates backwards.
Fuck, I need to make more room. There's a bunch of plates.
Do you think I'd be able to grab that
37
member
forks
too?
in here. Why?
As he's standing on top of the water,
For a
starts
second, I was
taking a
like,
step,
oh,
and then the wave kind of like yanks underneath, and his foot gets slammed, and he's on top of the water now at this point. Goes to push himself up, and as he does, another wave hits, and it kind of rolls him into like a ball. And then he gets towards the center of it, and as he's in the center, you see him take a hand, actually like he's on top of it, and these waves are just like pushing and crunching into him as he can't like be submerged into the actual water itself. As he takes the arm forward, you watch a wave kind of come over the top and just snap it. You hear another like
made his
loud,
death
loud
more
scream, and then as he gets up to go and do it again, you watch a wave come across the top part of his body and slam him so hard into the ground on top of it that it almost like pancakes him. He just gets hit by this wave, hits the water really hard, and then it's just on top.
What
Just
it feels
swishing
like.
around.
That's that one right there. That one puts you in the fucking thing and die. They're just death.
Alright, you watch the ship, the crew on the side is taking the sails and trying to adjust them and move them to where they'll be in the wind better now that the ship has started to alter. Jameson's up at the front, steering in the opposite direction. The ship, once more, the bow that gets taken towards the whirlpool there.
Damn, what effective carry there. It's like 1100 pounds.
And after that, Andrew, you're up. Shadow, you're on deck.
Do I need to make another strength saving throw?
Yes, you do.
Fucking swole boy. 21.
21. Alright, so you take 12 damage, but you are not pulled towards it.
I'm gonna walk out of it.
Alright. Alright, you're now outside of it. You can still feel the pull from it, but you're not hindered by the movement effect.
Dash. Onto the book.
So that's It's gonna be 10 feet just to get out of it. So you have 15 left.
12.
Half of 25 is 12.5 actually. Sure.
It was only 5 feet to get out. So, I mean,
You spent 10 of your feet to get out, and then you have 15 unhindered.
Can I just get to the boat and hold on?
Yeah, you're gonna probably get right up there.
Oh, shit.
That'd be the end of your movement.
Oh, yeah. Turn around, snipe.
It's too far.
A yee.
Kill.
Kill him with fire. No, not fire. It's not good. It's one. Kill him with lightning.
Yeah, lasers to the halfway. 29.
Make that cannon real quick.
Make a cannon, mid-con.
I have a cannon in my bag, luckily. 10 damage.
Alright.
Oh yeah, you did have a cannon.
One cannon, I just had there storage room.
He's been dragging it.
So I got and that's 23. Oh yeah. 11 damage. Moving up in the world. Okay, last one. It's 391. The yeet always makes it a higher number than it is originally. 28. 11 damage.
Alright.
I think I killed it, boys.
As you get up towards on the top of the boat, you turn around and look at the creature, and then you take 3 cards out at the same time, and then just with the other hand, throw them really quickly, and they kind of over this way, and then straighten out towards the end. Slam into actually like right near one of the edges of the eyes. The other one hits into like the upper part of the gum. One of them hits into the back tentacle that Shadow's actually holding on to. You watch the card hit, and then like a little bit of blood ooze out, and then the card vanishes into this bluish energy.
And blood.
Yeah, you get the green, and then like the bluish from the card. Once it gets hit by all 3 of those though, it barely even reacts. It's just kind of like, and then it starts making its way towards the water itself. Who up? Shadow up. Hunter.
Do you remember that mark on it?
It's cold.
Yeah, that was the guiding.
Yeah, that's way gone.
Yeah, we killed Shadow.
Again.
Yeah. You're shadowing.
4-2.
This.
8 damage.
Some more. Keep stabbing.
Hesitantly blade him.
Wolves or something?
16.
16.
Oh god, don't drink it.
Calamari.
3 damage.
Probably.
He gonna start serving us sushi.
Whatever this is.
So if you stab the katana in, and then quickly like bite towards the creature, the mask like comes down every time you open your mouth to bite. It comes down towards like the bottom part of your neck, and then you bite into the appendage that's sitting there. The second you bite, it's extremely like salty, and there's like a very, very strong fish, but it's like almost like a rotted, like spoiled kind of taste. Once you bite, you kind of just like spit to the side, all of this green energy, green blood flies out, cover your mouth back up. There's like little bits of green blood kind of oozing from the side.
Now you have like super babies.
You're staying up there?
Yeah.
Or something.
Connor,
Hookline's back. It doesn't look like the boat's making any progress.
try to
Get out.
cast,
it looks like it's like the back end of it's kind of kicking out like this way where you're looking, and then it's heading kind of towards the whirlpool, but they're like getting all of the sails set where they need to be.
I'm gonna try and cast Dragonborn.
Alright. Still advantage, right?
As long as it's in combat with us.
No modifiers, it's a 17.
Close.
Very close. I saw the 4 first and was like, oh shit. Again, you walk over and
He doesn't
all
have
the energy. Alright.
Is that what you're saying? He doesn't have a modifier, or
Yeah, he doesn't have a modifier. It's just my straight roll. Alright.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to get another full bonus.
I'm gonna get out of this whirlpool first.
Okay, make a strength save.
13.
13. You take 25 points of bludgeoning damage. You can tell that the closer you are to the center, the much more difficult it becomes. Now that you're in the middle of it, it feels almost impossible to get out. You take a step and a wave grabs your leg, you go grab forward and it splashes you backward.
Well, I'm gonna heal myself real quick.
Okay.
And just full health. I'm not playing around anymore.
Oh, really? You get sucked in that way, we might not see you again.
I still have water
It
walking,
would just
so I
be
can't
under
sucked
the
out.
water. What's it gonna do? Eat him? He was under there for like 1,000 years.
1,000 years.
Only 250 years
You
old.
can feel like dents starting to form in your armor. You're like where you're connected, they start kind of like ripping and tearing.
Except for this time it's like
painful.
It's like a tin can thrown into a washing machine.
Spin you up.
Since I'm knocked down.
You spend half a movement to get up.
Okay.
You got 15 left.
Okay.
Only if I would have done enhance ability.
Because I want to help, but I don't know if I can help. You control me? Because I wish I could give Skip freedom of movement, but I have to touch him. Because that would have saved us both. I would use Dimension Door to help us get off.
I can't. I don't think I can fit through dimension door.
You just have to be the same size creature.
Same size creature? What am I considering? Medium or large? Medium?
The only thing that's considered large is Goliath.
You can't walk on the water.
Yeah, and I need... Yeah, so I can't walk. So... Shadow, can you... I'm screaming. Can you get back? Are you having trouble? Just trying to figure out what I should do in this moment. I'm very scared.
It's a little pussy instead of...
Can you teleport back? You good?
Answer on my thing, I guess.
Speech is free action.
Shadow's talking.
They have been inviting and sailing and discuss.
Stay happy. Sushi that tastes like it's been out for 5 days. Got sushi from 7-Eleven.
I'm going to move as close as I can to the creature and off the boat, and I'm going to cast slow on it.
Gas station sushi's not the best thing.
Alright.
Hey.
What kind of save is it?
Wisdom.
That's 19.
19? Holy shit. Bro.
I'm trying to cast some spells on him. Leave us alone.
Sorry. Hopefully start rolling shitty later.
Yep, so this probably doesn't do anything.
All the sand covers it, and you can see it start like breaking its arm and like pushing all the sand away. It like mixes with the water before it gets sucked back into the focus.
Okay, so I'm gonna look over at Moldrak. I don't know, where's he at?
I'm under deck.
Moldrak's under deck. You don't see him anymore.
No. Sorry. That's okay.
Got a light boat. Smoke is running with the boat.
Oh, can I bonus action heal myself real quick?
You most definitely can. Moldrak, you are up. You're still going in.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna start dumping some, like, I'm gonna be careful with it, like, I don't want it to puncture, like, the sides of the bag. So I'm just like I'm like, is it solid chunks of metal, is it metal beams?
There's like chunks of ore.
Oh, I'm just dumping it. Okay. So, like, I'll do that with, like one or two of the crates, and, like, I kind of, like, lift them beforehand just to kind of gauge the weight. I'm like, how easy is this to pick
Each
up?
one is probably like 70 pounds.
Okay, I'm probably gonna dump like roughly about 400 pounds. Like, that might take a while, but
It's gonna take. You probably get like a crate or two on.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna
You
use.
have to like open the crate up. You have to get it over, get to the bag, dump it into the bag.
Yeah, I've been keeping track of the weight.
Some of it rolls over and like bounces.
How much weight do you have before you start dumping?
I have roughly 60 pounds.
Sure. As a
That's so much iron. Hey, that's not for me. Keep going.
as you're sitting there, the crew kind of walks over. Wait, what are you doing?
We need to lighten the load. The captain said so. I don't know. I didn't do the voice there. I was just.
All right, if the captain said so, they walk over and they're grabbing like the chunks of ore off the ground and like dropping them in, so it's like the full weight.
They're putting them in the bag too.
They don't look like they can lift the whole crate themselves. So they get over to a crate and like slam
Put it in
open
the bag.
bar and just start grabbing chunks and dropping them into the bag.
Hands up and put it in the bag.
Put the ore in the bag. This is a shake.
Job description said you have to be able to lift at least 50 pounds.
Alright, so you said like one or two crates?
They can't do that.
Like 1 or 2 crates, or maybe like 2 with their eyes.
Probably like 60 pounds worth of metal.
Okay, 60 in one turn?
Yeah, we'll say 60 a turn. So
120.
Your whole hand turned and then it was like, yeah, that's fine. Oh, it was up there for longer than that.
Race for impact, boys.
Is he biting it?
he is actually, he swims over to the side. And as he swims, you're still kind of on top grabbing, stabbing, and like moving all over the place. Gets up towards the edge. You watch the bottom part of the jaw sit up on top of the deck, and he reaches over and goes over towards the crew member on the right, and then reaches one hand back and claws towards Andrew at the same time.
I knew he was gonna knock me off. Well, he's trying to kill me after all the shit I talked.
Okay, so the attack on Andrew, that is a 32.
Doesn't hit actually.
Barely.
The attack on the other
Is he
crew
within 30
member-
feet of me?
Attack on the other crew member is a
Bill it.
Yeah.
Is Andrew within 30 feet of me?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. The ship's like 10 feet high, so
Oh!
That's literally it.
and then the attack on Ander. Not as bad, but still an ouchie. 17 points of damage to you.
70 or 70?
17.
I was real fucking scared.
The first claw goes over towards Ander, and you catch like these two bits of the claw that slice across like your side and like hit you in the shoulder and like almost slam you to the deck, and then you kind of push yourself up. You have this huge gash going from like the middle of your back up and around to the top of your shoulder. It's bleeding profusely. The back of your coat is cut. You look over, and as you get up, you watch him just like after he scratches towards you, looks over, just picks the crew member up and shoves him into his mouth. And then
That's a 90 HP
bites
heal there.
one time, doesn't even eat him, just bites him in half, and then like puts his hand to the side. He splashes into the water. The blood starts kind of pooling over from the sides, and the guy's just floating there.
I think we can save him.
He's probably good. We can heal him.
Maybe.
Definitely not in
Wait,
half.
I'm sorry, is he in half?
You gotta give up some more to go life. We gotta go life. He's just a torso.
I don't even know his name. What's his name?
We'll
Do you
just
know
heal
his
his
name?
underside and then put him in
Torso.
the wheelchair. We're good, boys.
Just torso now. Sailor one.
After that crew member gets grabbed and then like eaten in half and thrown to the side, Hawthorne looks to you, who's right next to where that guy was. Finn, quickly, let the sail down. We need to get out of here.
Oh yeah, I'm not holding slow. Okay, yeah, do it. So I
Alright.
run over.
Orm, you're up. You doing?
I'm gonna use Skull Wipe again.
All right.
Dex save.
Minus, so 10.
Failed. I'm gonna invoke my Divine Red again to go next damage.
All right.
Here's where you fastest
40.
Is he dead?
Actually, get off.
Fuck.
Another time, you take the hammer. This time, when you're standing there and you slam the first one down, you take another one and just kind of like almost like you're swinging at him. You just another arc of lightning slams down from the sky and like hits to the backside where the back end of like the body's kind of hanging out. You see like a large hit and water kind of splashes off. A little bit of it electrifies. You watch the creature like rear up, and as it rears up, just kind of slams a claw in another one. Looks like it's just getting pissed the more and more it gets hit.
And I untied one of his claws and try to
Hit him. Pissed means almost dead. Let's kill him, boys.
Yeah.
That's an 11. 11? 11 does not.
Close.
Now the ship.
We got the sails. They're good. Damn it.
Alright.
We're actually gonna turn completely around and start going back to the fucking keep.
Hey.
These two go underneath to help, so they just kind of are in the way at this
The
point.
more people we got, the faster we can load my bag up with ironware that we can keep.
Hey, you sure that's all of it?
Yeah. There's like 40 pounds.
It was all over, boys.
That's all we
Now I'm
had.
gonna make a check
All in the
for
ocean.
crew.
They got tossed off board.
Yeah, we
Do
tossed.
you feel the weight from it?
No, that's 5 pounds.
Alright.
You throw the barrels, but no idea.
The front two crew members start shifting the sails all the way over to where they start catching wind, and you watch the front of the boat actually, from when it gets pulled in, starts to kick out towards the front from the gust of wind that hits it. The guy in the back that's sitting here is kind of on the rope and is like pulling and trying to look across to see across the way if anybody's there to help. So then you start looking in that direction for the second you can do
Yeah,
so.
we might.
Andrew, you're up. Shadow, you're on
You
deck.
guys look at each other. Man.
At that point, Shadow, you see the ship that was going towards the whirlpool slowly start to shift and go in the other direction.
Alright.
And you can see the whirlpool is actually slowly starting
What
to
would it take to pick up one of the ropes and make a lasso out of it?
What?
At least a turn.
A turn?
Yes.
We could just drag Skip behind him.
He's an anchor.
That's what I'm saying. If I can make a lasso, catch that boy.
Toss the skip. Over here.
Toss the skip.
Tie it to one of the masts.
Oh yeah.
Fucking tie me to something.
Deploy the skip. He just steps out of the boat. Once we land, I just walk on the boat. You're like, when can I come back up, guys?
Shadow, you want his boat? Load up.
Sorry, good. I'm gonna just attack.
We gotta go down and land the boat. It's shallow. Just
How long does the water walk last for?
good.
You know, Skip's walked it before. Just let him walk.
What are the odds this guy can be stunned?
You're water breathing, right? I'm assuming.
I got the
Probably
stun
don't
card, but he
know
can't be
one.
stunned,
Yeah,
can he?
Yeah, so the sense
Can he?
you don't breathe,
Can
so
Yes, I
Wait,
can go
let
underwater.
me see if I hit.
Probably a con.
But there ain't no way you guys are getting me back because of how deep it is.
right.
That's a 17.
Beginning Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
What kind of save is it?
It is a
It says in the same
Most
area.
stuns are con, but
It's Constitution, it's 13.
plus 13?
No. Total of 13. What's your save?
It's really. He saves 11.
So it's
Damn!
the fucking
That was like the lowest one he had.
My charisma's actually 0, so.
I'm not a fan of the people.
It'll grow on me.
Alright. So do your damage. That's 12 damage.
Screw it.
12 damage, there we go.
Now it's an ace. There we
First
go.
one.
Fuck them up.
Second one.
Ace of diamonds.
You blinked.
Not the right one.
That's Ace of Clubs.
I don't know why I was instantly with the ace of diamonds after working at the ace of clubs. Ace of clubs. On a hit, deal 1d8 bludgeoning damage. Also. No. Doesn't matter.
It's cool.
It might.
Where did you get those?
That's 16.
Where are they from?
Alright.
It's time for one of
17. Okay, one more card.
Go. Get the insta-kill card.
That was a 16 to hit and 17 damage?
Yes. Okay. I throw a card at skip in the water.
Nothing worse than fucking like rough side.
Heal him?
Yes.
I think he's fully.
He's fully.
Fuck. I'll throw a card at myself.
You just you do like a loop. You're like
a boom. Oh, there we go.
yeah, it just comes back.
That's,
He catches.
that's 6
Raz was
XP.
the wrong card.
So I'm also running to the other side of the boat.
good idea. Come down below deck.
As you're backing up, you start running in the other direction. Take one card, take the other, and then on the third one, as you go to throw it, see it's the Ace of Hearts, and then just kind of chuck it right back towards you. Or whatever one it is. Queen of Hearts? Ace of Hearts? Ace of Hearts. Oh, it's right. I should have it down.
I'm always right!
Shadow, you're up.
Anyone in melee range of it?
In melee range of the creature? Yeah. Finn, Connor, Todd.
I think isn't it 5 feet? Oh no, it's
This thing's probably like 10 feet.
Well, Todd is for sure. Todd's like floating right there. I don't know if Todd...
As I walk down the head back to the ship, sit down, slice the die.
Alright. Going onto the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
As I'm exiting. Oh, 31.
Yep.
Barely.
Or not 31, 29.
Still, yeah.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
No, it's nuts. Holy shit!
On that.
That's pretty good.
23.
Oh, wait.
Almost a crit.
Need a weapon.
Have you crit
crits.
with it yet like that?
I rolled 119.
Ooh, how much?
Oh shit, I just did 80 instead of...
Hey, do that. Just don't even don't even think about it. 80 sounds about right.
The answer is yes. Alright.
Oh, did I say 18? I meant 80.
As you walk towards the head, you kind of gingerly and then jump and turn in the air towards the ship, and as you're coming down towards the deck, slice across the brow, and you watch it do a deep like gash into the actual eye itself. It kind of cuts across it. You watch a little bit of blood start to pool from the side. The eye itself like closes shut, and there's like a... It goes to like just maniacal, or just blindly starts swinging outwards. The eye on this side has the huge gash now. The eye itself is closed shut, and it's kind of sitting there like swinging out and out. The eyes on this side are like looking around a lot more now.
Only 3 eyes left.
Connor, you're up.
Alright. Can I make it behind the mast in the middle?
Behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to charm him again.
Alright, as you start to walk away, he's gonna claw out at you. Oh. Yep. I think his modifier is enough to just hit him. That's a 21. To hit.
Hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
21 points up. 25 is massive for you, right?
Huh?
25
Yes.
is massive for you? There's 21 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then the save.
Yes.
No, 2 2s.
Zeros. 2 zeros.
Only 14.
Hey!
He's charmed!
Alright.
Hey, bud! Hey! Please, don't kill us! Hey, how you doing? Can you go back under your water? I'm gonna use an empowered spell on that and make it 2 hours of nice guy.
So
Whatever he is.
As he's sitting there and starts swinging out, the one slams across your back and like he slices into it with his claws, and you kind of fall forward and then
Can I
turn
just
around,
go, hey, that's not nice!
and then it kind of...
Hey,
We're too far, boys. Fuck the gun.
can you just go back to your home? Please, leave us alone.
I mean,
You're my bud.
I'm kind of being dishwashered over here, so
And then it...
fuck's the Yoldguard.
He's actually got. He's like,
Connor saving the day again.
Summon.
Connor milestone just for Connor.
Fuck.
Oh,
That was an 18.
That was good.
You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
That's nothing. And I want to use my dash.
what was the type of term?
18,
The
19,
type of the
20.
charm!
I'm dashing to get the fuck out of it.
You didn't even get it to the ship.
I did.
To the ship, and I'm climbing up the side.
Okay, you got it. Alright.
As soon as I get back on the ship, I'm laying flat.
In a ball.
Just like in the fetal position.
What? Third time's the charm.
No, just kidding.
Alright.
Bad joke.
It's
Just Joe. Well, you
Alright.
can't see man.
After Skip, Finn, you are up. Go ahead and make a check if you're going for the sail. Just D20 and add your proficiency.
Well, I heard a monster went underwater and he seems to be
17.
above water right now.
Go over towards the side where there's some sort of a pulley that's made, and the sail itself, you can see it's kind of very taut where it's at because there's a knot tied off. Take it, just undo it quickly, and then just let the sail down.
I turn my hands into sandpaper to help with the grit.
Yeah, put a little grip with sand on there.
Out of my mouth.
Yeah.
With sand.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine.
Is being Finn like always having like sand in your shoes and in your
it's like
underwear?
the one guy from
Is it-
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Sandman.
It is like having that,
oh,
but
that'd be-
actually enjoying it.
Alright.
That would be great if you could grow the size of
Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Another
So
60 pounds.
we're just shoveling.
That's where it comes out from it. You don't hit him with the hammer. You just want some of the action.
Oh, I think it's kind of
Everything in the ocean.
Boy went under.
Press the spell that only affects charm.
Yeah, he went
on his
under.
turn, he just splashed underneath and started swimming. Or you are up. Use your movement.
And stay up.
Well, I actually have to go, but
Okay, you're fine.
okay. So I guess I'd help with removal of the things or something with that, or help to tend to the wounded and
Got it.
No, Orm's gonna T-pose for the rest of the game.
So the corner he crouches, never come back. Mike's muted.
Just says camp on his head.
Disconnect.
Yeah.
Oh,
He never leaves.
I don't know what he was doing.
Just sits there.
Back and then he was leaving.
Orm just left the chat.
I seen him turn around.
You. Go for it.
This is the kill right here.
Not 20.
What are you fighting?
Oh my god, no.
Now he's gonna attack us.
It's gonna jump right back up.
Why would you?
It's gonna jump right back up. Yeah, he doesn't know.
If he gets attacked, isn't he uncharmed?
Yeah.
Ah!
Shadow doesn't know he's charmed though. Skip doesn't know either. Skip will hit him too.
I mean, you yelled him out, and I assume there was some sort of energy.
I was kind of being close. Hello, boys. I'm back.
But I mean, how would he not?
Alright.
Hey, Finn, can you step back time like 15 seconds to
Yeah, make him miss.
make a miss? Do it.
I mean,
But I...
Just make him reroll the attack.
He just gets stung.
We're going off the assumption.
well, if it's, I mean, he rolled an actual
Wait, we're
20.
going off the assumption that
Yeah.
I got this.
we're going off the assumption that nobody knows. So
Yeah. So like Skip.
But what are the chances he would actually miss?
It's not like
He's not. He rolled a
magic
crit.
energy from
No, I mean, I'm talking about it.
very high.
he can't miss. He can't miss.
Yeah. No. So there's winning the point.
Can I make him reroll and use my sand to deflect his sword?
It's like I gotta roll 2 natural ones in order to miss.
Yeah, that's... Oh, God.
Okay.
That sand wall,
I mean,
the fucking...
you already hit him. You already hit him with an actual
Alright,
20. So.
takes the sword and kind of spins it around, and as he's swimming away, kind of turns over, takes the sword and slams it into the shoulder, then yanks it out. As he does, blood kind of splashes onto the deck, and as it splashes and hits, there's like a... And then the creature just... slams both the claws into the upper deck, and is still trying to sit there. No. Alright.
last one.
And then...
We're gonna have to
Connor,
fight
you're
it
up.
now.
Skip, you're on deck.
Finn throws himself overboard.
Oh shit, I should have had... At least I think I should.
Divine Thunder Smoke is not what we want to do.
never cast that spell before, right?
Huh?
You never cast that spell, I don't think, since I've been playing.
No, but I did yell for it to be a nice guy and to go away, and it was turning around and going away. And just that magical energy coming from me.
I wasn't looking at you.
You know, use the slag. You want to soft fly past.
Constant fight to see.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm gonna use hold that. What's that say?
9.
Nope. 17. Brought it me.
Pop its blood vessels. Now its eyes are even more red.
Alrighty. 7 rounds deep, though.
7 rounds.
Shit. Takes you take from your necklace and just kind of push forward, and all these stars go into all the wounds, and then as they're in there, it's kind of like a burst of energy, and then they suck back into the necklace. Skip, you're up.
Is this thing within melee range of me?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna stand up first.
Very good. Claws and everything. Neck action.
Okay, so how close is its face to me?
I'm gonna show you.
Oh, perfect. Is its mouth open or closed? I just want to open. I'm sorry, it's open. I'm gonna go with an upward, like, arc to the roof of the mouth. I'm gonna use Divine Smite and Thunderous.
We'll do Thunderous first, and then
Okay, so second level Thunderous. I haven't gotten to hit this thing yet. So Thunderous is...
It's flanked, right?
If the ocean was your friend.
Come on, sorry.
The ocean is our friend.
I haven't...
It allows us to walk on top of it. It must be a
What comes with the ocean, man?
Ocean Man is Thunderous.
Yeah, true.
Oh, here it is right here. Duh.
Commander and I are
2d6, 3d6.
Or run away.
So 1, 2, 3.
While you guys
I'm gonna try to
try to jump off the other side of the mountain.
That's 25. Hit him. Yep. Okay, so here's Thunderous. And then I need 1, 2, yep. 3. I'll do another second level Divine. So it's 3d8. So first the Thunderous. Oh, strength saving throw to get to that. No, never mind. Yeah. Okay, so that's 12, 16 thunder damage, and then that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 21 radiant.
You do the normal damage for your sword?
Mm-hmm. 1.
16 and 21 is 37.
So, shit. Yeah.
Alright. As you're sitting there and you take the sword, kind of spin it really quick, and then slam it up into the roof of the mouth. There's like, once you slam it up, there's like this loud boom, and this bright yellow and blue energy flares out.
38 due to the new sword. I had 5 instead of 1. Instead of the 6 I'm supposed to have, sorry. So it'll be 32. 32, sorry. Where'd I hit 16 and 1? 21.
Yeah. Okay. As it slams up and in, he kind of rears the mouth back, and you can see like blood kind of pooling from the roof of the mouth. It looks hurt, but it still looks like there is a lot of life left.
I'm gonna make my second attack. That's a 19 roll. That's another 25 hit. And then I just get
On a pirate head.
that's
That's the only way to tell.
12 damage from that next one. Just straight slashing.
Alright, then you just slice across the upper part of the gum. It doesn't even really dig deep into the flesh, but you slice enough for it to do some damage. Spins up, I'll back on back.
I'm just low tonight, so that's just bad.
There's probably about like 40 or so crates with the metal in it, and you've got through like 4.
Alright. Well, I'm only at, that would put me at 240 in the bag, so.
Casting slow.
Wisdom save, right? 15?
No.
Alright.
16.
So that does what exactly?
Okay.
Minus 2 AC, right?
Alright. Okay, so affected target speed is halved. Takes minus 2 AC. And minus 2 penalty to AC and dexterity saving throws. Can't use reactions. On its turn, it can use an action or bonus action, not both. Regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items, it can't make more than 1 melee or ranged attack. If a creature attempts to cast a spell during, it probably isn't magical. Yeah, but it can break out just like any other. Yep, so I cast slow from where I'm at.
Alright.
Can I back up a little bit? Like,
You can.
Like, that's perfect.
Can't take any reaction, so he can't swing at you. So as you are standing there, you take the staff and you're like hitting all the dials. All the sand flies out and goes into this huge, like almost blanket above it that just drops on top like a net, and then catches the arms. And you watch him as it tries to lift up. You take the staff and like push down, and then the sand pushes down that arm, and it gets like really slow. As it tries to like lift both claws up, you like slam one down with the sand, and the other one's trying to reach up. Tries like opening its mouth and biting, but it's just doing it extremely slowly, trying to move forward and get away or get towards you, and it's just all, every time it tries to move, you have to take the staff and just kind of like shove the sand down.
And then as I'm doing that, I look over to the captain and I'm like, "This is our chance!"
Your staff
will.
Your staff's in there.
Just sand net.
T-shirt gun. Oh shit, wrong one.
This is our opportunity. Now, we must get the ship turned around. Head back southeastward.
Did you say we have to turn the ship
right now?
5 with foot on the back.
He looks back towards Jameson. Everyone signal. Kind of puts his finger up and is waiting. And then, Moldrak is up. Moldrak already did that.
Yep, I did mine.
The creature.
I've effectively removed one person from the ship at 180 pounds.
Wait, person?
Yes, they're in the bag. Like, listen, we need to reduce more weight.
A strength saving throw.
I'll bring you out in a minute.
Shadow.
Please.
Skip. Moldrak's under deck.
Yes, I am.
Shadow, Skip, Ander, and Connor.
Oh, they were behind
What am I
the
doing?
door.
Strength saving throws. I'll say you can do yours with advantage.
15.
15.
Who's getting advantage? Which one of us?
Who gets
That
advantage?
was like a middle point.
Ander.
Oh, okay. 18.
This one just likes to run away. Come on. I'm just gonna go for the hero point also, just in case. 42.
22. 22. 19, 15.
I got 18.
Okay, so you all succeed, and instead of taking 15 points of bludgeoning damage, you take 7. And none of you are knocked back.
Can I use my reaction?
Certainly.
Who's the lowest, real quick, out of all of us?
After we what?
Who actually?
Oh, no, I'm saying who just got hit and who's the lowest, up front, within 30 feet of me.
Well, everybody.
Yeah, I had 20 health, he had 20 health.
It's up to you. I'm gonna put without hesitation on Ander.
And what's about hesitation?
That's the one where I connect myself and I'm able to soak up damage from 30 feet.
As an action, you can connect yourself. I don't know what the other ones.
As a reaction, as long as they're within 10 feet of you, you link yourself to, you must remain within 30 feet of the allied creature.
So you gotta be.
Oh, yeah.
Take damage as a reaction or you can...
Oh, never mind, I'm not even using it. I'm not even gonna use them.
What do you say?
Yeah,
What?
thank you.
Alright.
Okay, I still take 7 damage. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Or,
Maybe I was gonna sit there.
hit him with
Hey, that's a good idea.
Somehow
Andy has a call light.
We'll do the call.
Oh, wait, who's within? Are you within 5 feet of me? Because you get another. You get AC.
Shadow.
If he's within range.
Oh, you get a +1 to your AC. Because you're near me.
Weapon attack or bonus action anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could use combo.
Yeah, full.
Okay, so 10 for the deck save, so how much damage
It's
is
3d. Well, he was using it at 4 points.
Okay, so somebody roll 4d10 for
I got it.
Yeah, he
Little creepy silver color.
Yes.
16.
I know my
25. 30.
30? Yeah. Good. Alright. Orm kind of takes like a spin in the air and then slams like the hammer forward. Like he just looks like he's fighting the air, but every time he swings, lightning flies from the sky and slams down onto the creature. Takes the swing downward, and as he does, a lightning bolt slides across like the top part of the head, and the creature actually like gets hit and splashes into the water and then picks its head back up. All this water is like splashing all over the place. The surface of the boat is starting to get a little slippery now from all the water that's getting pushed over there. Water's constantly dripping from the creature itself, so all of it kind of gets zapped a little bit. You hear it like scream and screech. Todd, I don't know how to damage or anything.
D8.
Todd is
Got it.
composing.
Ready? I got it.
I don't
Got
know
a
if
little
it's a
hit.
D8. I lied.
Oh, pretty likely.
I rolled a 19.
To hit?
Yeah,
On a D.
I'll make sure.
on a D8. On a D8.
19.
I rolled 2d8. I rolled a 19.
90% chance.
When you said it's just a D8?
Yeah.
That's a 1?
Plus.
Probably closer to winning.
Plus your spell casting.
16.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that.
Todd said.
Alright. Todd forms himself and then slams across the side and then reforms. Alright, Hawthorne sitting there. Drop the sails up front, fully! Turn them to the gust! We must turn! Now! Turns over to Jameson, and as he does, Jameson takes the wheel and starts fully sending it in the other direction, gets it all the way to where it completely like locks in position from it being turned. And as it gets turned, the whole boat kind of like rocks for a second, and then
Please tell me that it just hits that guy.
hits into the side of the creature's mouth, and then it actually stops the ship right there. And as it hits the creature, it like kind of like splashes into the water from it getting hit so hard, and then it gets back up to where it's starting to like swim back up to the surface. But it's like right up against the side of the ship, and the ship is starting to head in this like direction. So we're gonna just kind of move this back here. All right.
Hey, we fell off the end of the roof. Told you it was flat.
Well, just go there.
All right. Where the creature like has his arm on the side, after Hawthorne gives that command and it slams into it, he grabs onto like the like one of the rails or like the steps, and after that takes the scimitar from his side and just slams it into the claw of the creature and then yanks it out. After he does that, the claw like releases itself from the side of the ship, and the boat starts like pushing forward past.
He had a really good hold on him.
And he's slow.
All right. And you're up. Round 8.
Go for it.
Dragon.
That was the card feed.
That's 12 damage.
12.
Oh,
That's a D20.
yeah, that's a 25. What damage? Okay, last one. 3 feet, like, anything else. Blame me. Yeah, okay. 10 damage. Okay, so I didn't know if you were doing something. Nope. Yes, I was trying to make sure trying to make sure you got all my damage.
Sure you take advantage of that -2 AC, boys. Got sand in his eyes.
I could hit him as long as I didn't roll a natural one anyway.
Now, if you roll a natural one, can you only do it one time? Like re-roll it?
Yes.
Once per turn. Alright. All 3 cards as he's sitting there, like, falling back towards the boat. You get over to the side of the mast, feeling that aching pain in your shoulder and back. You just take all 3 cards and then all in one hand just chuck them towards the creature, and they just spread apart and slam into the upper part of his head. He still looks like he's just intently swimming towards you. Shadow's up. Connor is on deck.
Is there any part of them that's like on the ship or like above?
The claw is like getting close and like trying to reach every time it gets like close. It's probably only like 2 feet from the edge of the ship every time it goes to reach.
I'm gonna advance over to there. It's so cloudy.
Okay. How far is the benefit?
40.
Oh yeah.
Come in on a slice. Against the pan.
Cut it off.
16. Yep. Hold in.
In the moment that you see the claw getting closer, where you're standing, you just take the katana back and then slash, and in the same moment that you're slashing, you Nightcrawler style poof over there and then slice into the hand.
Like putting the product for about to flop it.
Alright. That's not making any money.
Wait, if it's a dex save, it's
disadvantage or minus?
takes a. It says penalty to AC.
So it's minus 2. The same thing. So 6 or 5.
Hey, roll the fireball dice.
Mind the radius.
Let's do that fireball.
He probably slammed it on the back end, I think.
Max damage.
Looks like I'm at least 5.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm like 15 feet away from it, maybe.
Here.
Yeet.
That's 20 feet.
What's fireball? This fireball spell.
You could probably.
I got a base. I like that too.
33. 33. Here he comes out with his first spell. He's like,
Take from the necklace and just kind of like really quickly throw this small ball of fire that starts gaining size as it gets further and further, slams into the back part of the head of the creature, and all of this like fire and like white, yellowish, orangish energies like bursts out in front of it, and then there's a bit of a pause where there's like a little smoke, and then it just like pushes through it again with water, and there's like even like steam kind of coming off the back from all the water that was on top of it.
That's gotta give us a boost, right?
we don't want to boost. We want to stay here. We want to stay here so we can turn.
I'd like to run 30 feet.
About the same range.
Run this way 30 feet towards the monster.
Get right here.
I can get. Am I within range there?
We were going
I am.
this way.
We're not.
No.
Okay.
That's back to
Well then, I want to cast.
Billy, which way do we need?
We're heading this way.
I'm trying to figure out if this is. Sorry, give me a second.
Like straight this way.
Straight? Yeah. I've already done that thing, I guess. So we just need to move.
So it's okay. Should have fixed it.
No. Yes. I'm thinking of shield versus shield plate. I don't know if both of them go.
Well, shields are reaction.
Yeah, shield, yeah.
Shields are reaction.
Shield to
But it's also concentration.
Are you still looking for it, even though we all said it was?
I want to be sure.
It is. Let's look to it instantly.
It's a bonus.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, the name that border takes too long.
Damn.
Oh, there it is.
Read it. Fucking hell, boy. The pig. Pick it, hell, boy.
Since well, I can't do it until the DM gets back.
Anyone coming back to Smash? Anyone coming back to my place to Smash?
I'm not fucking anybody, okay?
Well, actually, I don't know if I can.
Or Smash Brawl?
That's a nice spell. That's a nice spell.
Wait, we're going to play Smash at your place?
Thanks, buddy. It's the last other
probably.
No. I mean, I got an older Smash.
Oh, I got my Switch. If you want me to run home, I can bring my dog.
I don't like them.
And I can bring my, I'll have a clear day. Sorry guys, but I gotta use it.
You could also bring your Joy-Cons, right?
Yeah.
Alright, what do you go? Shield Faith?
I'd like a Shield Faith, but I'd like a dash just a little bit, and then move up to Shadow. And just kind of give them a friendly pat on the back, give them a shield. So you are at 19. Oh, 20 now, since you're within 5 feet of me.
Alright. Finn, you're up.
You can plug the SPs into the
At this point, I can really only do bonus action until I hold slow, right?
You can cast spells as long as they're not also concentrated.
Right. Okay. Wow, so I can spit a time bomb at him while I fucking... Alright boys, it's time. 4th level, so max energy bomb coming his way. And that is a wisdom save. I'm sorry, no, that's a dex save, so that actually plays to the slow.
That will be a -3.
Yeah, that's a lot of 2s.
I don't have a spell for the DC. Dust has something that can make a save.
It's still good. Yeah, at least average.
Dust has something where you can make a save, like pushing someone out, have a DC because I'm not spell casting. Arcane Trickery is intelligence.
That'd probably be the same.
24.
Yeah, I'd do the same.
24 damage straight into the gullet. I got another one too. I have another spell slot.
Moldrak, another 60 pounds.
Yep, up to 300.
Oh wait, so is he hurt from that?
Yes, I got you in a second. Alright, as you're sitting there, you take focusing on the slow, you kind of like push the sand back, and then after doing that, take forward a little bit more energy from the staff and then shoot it out towards him. As it slams and hits across the front of the face, it in the air kind of like slowly like sucks itself in and then blows up over the front. All the sand that's there kind of pushes through some parts of the body and then gets pulled back through in the same holes that they were once in. And then after it kind of dissipates and disappears, you see the creature like getting it doesn't look like destroyed, but it looks like it's battered and like beaten enough to the point where it just kind of like goes underwater and then starts swimming away.
You're welcome.
After it hits and does that, kind of looks back. Full sails. We must get out of here. Do not think we have to feed it. It's not quite that
This thing's done.
I think it's fun that I'm down in the water. Let's get his ass.
So you're gonna hit the water. Like it's counted.
If it's there, don't provoke it. You saw it turn around, but don't make this mistake twice.
Hey, I didn't make the mistake yet.
Oh yeah, he's slowed, so it's like
Casts Call Lightning.
Oh no!
Actually, maybe he.
This boy done!
Ander, it's your turn.
Under the
We
water.
can't see him. He's gone.
Make a perception check.
Why would you want to see him?
Leave my feet. Like, intentionally leave my range and then step back up.
Oh, yeah. Skip, you can.
Advance, right? Opportunity attack? Keep that
Skip's right next to you.
I can't make it divine, can I?
Melee attack.
23.
I can. Right. All I can do it is a reaction. You know what? I'll do.
The opportunity attack is reaction, and we'll find sources anytime you can.
Yeah, I'll do the one.
23.
I rolled a 16, so it's 22. And I'm doing it at second level. 6, 12, 15, 16, 22.
Alright, okay. As it starts moving away, you slam the blade into the hand and kind of are going to slam it into the hand, but as it like turns over, you actually catch the eye and slam it right into the same eye where you gashed across, and then yank it out. You don't yank the eyeball out, but you yank the blade out, and like blood flies and just flies over to the side. You can hear like a loud, and then you take the blade and slash towards the back end where one of those tentacle kind of appendages are, and just take like the top end of it off.
Can I try to catch it?
It splashes.
Okay.
As it turns around and goes away, Andrew, what'd you get for your perception?
Yeah, I got a 15, but it doesn't really matter because I can't do it under the water. Like, the target is projectiles.
Oh, okay. I was
It's not under the water yet.
We just hit it.
As you guys are sailing off, you guys make your way towards the back of the ship and you're kind of looking. You can just see the top part of the creature sitting there. Like the eyes that are the one eye now, the one that's kind of gashed, the one eye kind of looking up over at you, and then it just goes into the water. And you kind of disappear.
They'll be back with friends.
There's a bigger one.
You just see it come blast.
That was the baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was the kid, and it's like, I'm gonna go get my parents.
My dad will beat up here.
Comes back, and it's like the size of the boat.
The crew is talking back and forth. Hawthorne, hurry up, set these sails to gust. Creature will be back for more, most definitely. Hopefully we reach Azash and it will never see us again on these seas. You guys held yourselves very, very well.
What was? Do you know what that was?
I've heard tales of it before. It's a Krendalax. Very intelligent creature of the sea.
I've probably never seen
Krendalax.
anything right
K-R-E-N-D-E-L-A-X. What?
I've never seen anything like that.
Did it remind me of my special monster boy?
Reminded you of it, but it's not the same. More of a kind of the same type of vibe.
Gotcha. I'm gonna take a giant sand oar and just.
I'm still loading up the bag. I don't know any of this is happening.
The ship kind of carrying on. After a while, Jameson makes his way down beneath, sees you like dumping all of the metal into the bag. Whatever you did, it worked.
I was gonna say, it really looks like you're stealing all of this shit.
You're like, where's the metal?
I just reach in and pull out a chunk of metal. That's all they need.
Whatever you did, I could feel the weight come off when I was on the helm. You can put it back now. He starts making his way back up towards the deck.
Start throwing off barrels, he won't know.
The crew standing there, he kind of looks back like, you two, help him.
Oh my God.
Put the barrel underneath.
They get over.
Why is there
All
a
of this
pig in
metal starts dropping, and then there's like a...
Oh God!
Oh, that's the pig.
Yeah, there's just like this splash mess of metal.
It's gonna be
and-
so bad.
Plates, cups, bowls.
It's gonna be bad.
Nothing important.
Tankards. Yeah, tankards.
They start
A kid pops up.
sifting through grabbing the metal. The crew spends their time beneath, probably about 6 or so of them.
You guys
going
want
through
any
and
of the
putting it
pig?
back into the crates.
Oh my god, stop.
Hasn't it been in there for like months?
Dude,
Yeah. Oh my God.
no. Don't even want to think about it. Alright, can we move this back?
Surprise dysentery. Then scurvy's not gonna be here. Where's?
That's exactly where I am right there, just leaning over the edge.
Oh, just leave it on the, I think the side.
Careful with the table.
I'm keeping this side pushed in.
Oh, that is like aimed right,
right at
Devin's
Devin.
face.
It's a beautiful man. We want 2 cameras on him.
Fierce.
Oh, it's like you just back down.
Right more. Or left, my bad.
Arch the back.
Left. Left. Up. And then right. The crew starts getting together. Hawthorne's barking orders at them, trying to get the ship back on course. You can see him much more hands-on at this point. There is a lot of yelling going on. Jameson is now taking a lot more initiative too, making people do things. Hawthorne's looking towards the sky, but can't really see anything until he breaks that cloud coverage from the call lightning spell and all of that. It is a little cloudy out as well, but the sea is calm, and it goes from this just frantic, just disarray of everything in this chaos to this very, very calm, where you guys are just kind of like, whew, wow, lucky to be alive. Start making your way back southeast. Unsure of how long the journey is left, you just kind of sit and wait around. You begin to become more comfortable with being out at sea. You start feeling a lot less lonely when you guys get together and eat and just kind of sit there and talk and mess around and do whatever. 2 days pass. Uneventful. Nothing happens within the 2 days. There is a lot of work that is being done, a lot of organizing the deck below, metal being put back into crates.
Just, I'd say, because of what happened, Hunter's a little anxious. So, before he goes to sleep each night, he's going to put some leaf armor on himself.
Like a blanket.
Extend it. So it lasts for $60, so it probably should last pretty much the next day. They'll just keep continuing that cycle.
In the same essence, I think Finn kind of keeps his staff within grabbing reach. Like, so if I'm like helping out on the deck, like I'll just like put it on a crate somewhere. But like,
I gotcha. Your guys' quarters for here are all below deck. There's just like a lot of bunks that are hanging up and hammocks and things like that. And it's not the same one every night. You know, you just sleep where you can. The food is decent. It's a lot of dried meats and preserved as best that you can foods. Your couple of days of just being there are pretty uneventful. There's not much of note. There's a lot of time at sea where it's a lot of practicing skills, talking with one another, getting closer,
fishing,
getting to know the crew more. Fishing's a little difficult. The boat moves pretty quickly. A lot of waves and chop and splash.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like always. Mostly seaweed. Tentacles.
As you guys on the 30. It is now the 37th of Zanet. At the end of this month, getting closer to nighttime, you feel this energy to you, Connor. This kind of strength and this fullness that you felt before several times through eclipses that you've seen. Making your way towards the stern of the ship, towards the back end, kind of hands on the side, looking up. You can see there's this moment where Saloon, the primary moon of the world, starts to slowly start eclipsing where the sun is during the day. As it eclipses, there's kind of this moment where you get filled with this energy, and where people aren't usually able to stare up at it. You're able to look directly towards it, and you like if anybody's by Connor and you kind of look towards him, you can see that his eye, like when he's staring up towards it, the pupil, there's like this slowness where there's like a little bit of black that starts to take over his entire eye, and then it kind of covers the pupil and then covers the entire eye as he's like looking up towards it, almost in the same exact moments that the moon eclipses the sun. I sit there, stare at it for a second. Then come to, look at whoever's around you. Take it in.
Right there. Just get quickly says a prayer because Connor's obviously leaving. He's like...
Alright, so your next targeted spell attack is at advantage, or the next spell you cast on somebody, they do say they disappear. So we're experiencing that once. That same night, or the night of that day, everyone begins to take rest. You all begin to fall asleep.
Moldrak's grown fond of sleeping in the crow's nest. He likes it more than sleeping so close to the water.
A lot more air.
Skip kind of just shuts down somewhere near the bow area.
That was worse than the
Skip, as you take your sentinel-like rest towards the bow of the ship,
Hey, I get that too.
you feel yourself drift off again. You begin to kind of slightly panic, but something is telling you to let it happen. A curiosity, some sort of a not knowing but wanting to know more. Your vision goes black and remains as such. You hear nothing around you. Silent. The waves slowly start to splash into nothing until there's quiet. All you begin to hear is voices. Your vision still black.
Zaris, the next volunteer is being prepped as we speak. Very good, Bori. Day by day, we get more and more volunteers. We are so close to perfecting this. So close to defeating death itself. Can't you feel that we're on the brink of breaking through?
Your vision becomes a little more too. You see blurred figures, two of them standing above you. One, a short individual atop of some sort of a podium. The other standing alongside it, on some sort of a table that you seem to be lying on top of. They both looking down.
Ah, welcome back, soldier.
The faces still blurred.
You've been asleep for some time now.
The injuries you sustained were quite severe.
The doctors had no choice.
At this point, you look over towards your side. You see that your arm on the right side is amputated all the way up to the shoulder. You start to breathe quickly. You can feel a thud inside of your chest as if it's really there, and you feel this kind of rhythmic beat in your ears.
Calm yourself. I know it's traumatic, but there is still hope. You're a warrior, and Yandros will need you. We need warriors for the future we plan to build.
There's a bit of silence and pause. A moment passes. Figures become more into focus, but are blurred to where you cannot see facial features still. The short individual to your right has this frizzy white hair that you can see. Although it's blurred, you don't see facial features, just this very noticeable feature to this individual. It sits crazily atop his head in all directions, and a pair of intricate spectacles sit across the forehead. The other individual is still blurred to where you can't see any discernible features.
I can see by the look on your face that you're still listening to what we have to say. You're a protector of people. I know that you're someone who will be ready to do what is right for the future. The future of Yandros. The future of our race. Not just Yandros either, but those you love. You must have a child, a wife.
In your vision, you kind of nod.
Think of them. We can create a future with no end. A future where gods have no say and when we die, and we will not be test subjects to their diseases. We will not be held prisoner to time. We can break free of all that, create a new age. What do you say, soldier?
From your perspective at this point, there's hesitation that you can feel, kind of in your bones. Then a slow nod that begins to come through.
Brilliant. Now let us get started.
A spark of energy flashes from behind you very, very brightly. The individuals in front begin to walk away and the vision fades to black again. You almost take a breath as if you needed to and jolt back awake on the boat. Looking around, waves splashing all over the place. Kind of look around, look down at your hands, over at your shoulder and kind of feel it. Although you're dented and kind of bruised up, you're not missing an arm. Your arm's still metallic, doesn't look human anywhere. Kind of look forward at your friends walking around the ship. Start to kind of think. Try to wonder. And that's where we'll pick it up next week.
Hell yeah.
But I do have bad news. Next week, Sunday, we're not going to be able to play.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Picking it up next week.
Yeah.
Just
It is Christmas is coming up and stuff, and I working at the Lions game, so I can't think.
So, I did want to say, so I'll be going to Disney World, a day after Christmas until, like, January 2nd. So, that following week I will not be here as well.
That's mine, dude. Come on.
Fuck
Good shit, guys.
Yeah.
You guys did a lot more to the Cordalax than I was expecting.
Me too.
Same.
I didn't even know what it was.
I thought it was
Completely that thing
Maybe?
came in Loot Crate.
I mean, I got one of these
Supposed to be
too.
from Rick and
It
Morty,
was like
I think.
creme
And I
brulee.
just painted the base black because it was green, and then did the back. This was like all green before.
Yeah.
Made this.
That's
blue.
why I knew I looked at the base. That's why I didn't know
Wait,
what it was.
You said that's from Rick and Morty?
Yeah, I think so, or something like
I
that.
think
Or something off of Cartoon Network.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's from Loot Crate.
Gumball getting wild, huh?
There's
Yeah,
there's like a D&D loot crate
Yeah, it
where you
comes like.
get
I think
minis and stuff each month.
Is it every month or is it like?
Don't tell him that.
I don't know.
I get the
They have
fucking room's gonna be
different
full
like
of
There's a Skyrim crate too.
There's a what?
There's like an Elder Scrolls crate.
I'm surprised you don't already have that, to be honest.
You've caught my attention. I now want it.
I think it's another.
You know what I want to try?